Alright, everybody, welcome back to another day in the Mortal Realms, and my god, we have a lot going on.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, but here we are.
Yeah, both of us got pretty sick, but you know what? We're back
Yeah.
for a while.
Yep.
Um,
Should be good.
and we got a General's Handbook and two battle tomes to talk about.
Oh my
We're
god.
not doing that all today, of course.
That'd be too much.
Yeah, we think we're gonna start with the battle tome. You know what? I probably should have updated the stream status with that.
Did you mean the General's Handbook?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay, cool. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know what we're doing today now.
Yeah. Oh man. I always forget to update the stream information. So I'm gonna just do that real quick.
Yeah, just do it live.
General Handbook review. My god.
What have they done?
They've done a lot is the short answer.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
joke.
And yeah, well, I'm very excited for it overall, I would have to say.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think yeah, we'll get into it way more in detail, but I'm very excited for the majority of these missions.
Yeah, some of them look really cool.
Yeah, did you get a chance to look at them independently or?
Not all of them, some of them though.
Yeah, that's fine. And we'll go through each and every one of them. Endless spells look like they might be important now.
Well, we've said that every time, so I'm gonna hold off judgment on that one.
Sure. But yeah, I'll point out, yeah, I copied over the ones in here that changed. We'll be talking about those, and I'll tell you why I think they're a big deal.
Cool.
Yeah, overall though, what a time to be alive. Gonna work on some Sylvaneth because I've been reading the book like everybody else, I think. Or at least people who've seen the leaks. Very excited.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm painting up some more Chaos Knights, some of the old ones I've got kicking around. I'm just gonna slap chop the shit out of these bad boys.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
because I think, spoiler alert for the General's Handbook, that they might be getting better. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very.
But
Yeah.
we've been known to be wrong before. But you know what? I've been
Yeah.
meaning to do this for a while anyway. So
Yeah.
here we are.
You know what though? Like, oh man, guy who's read book, who knows a little bit about the game. All right, fine, knows a lot about the game, but like just getting a hot take, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna get them all. No one does.
No.
But we're gonna do our best. And I have one game with the new General's Handbook under my belt,
Nice.
so I'll be able to talk about that very minimally.
And I'm going to be getting a game in under my belt soon. So we'll see how that.
Yeah, I should be getting a handful in too soon. That'll be
Nice.
exciting to talk about next stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also this morning too, or I guess this afternoon, we got another battle scroll update.
Right?
Some pretty good changes.
I think so.
Yeah, the hunt is dead, that's good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like it, and I was optimistic, and then I was proven very wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sad to see that those rules go. Those rules were kind of confusing to me. Not
Yeah.
confusing. They were clear, but it's just added so much more mental load to the game. I think
don't
and
think
probably didn't do much.
Yeah, they didn't achieve what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think thankfully GW realized that.
Yep. But you know what?
It was an attempt.
I'm gonna stand by what I said though there, where I think the things that are good about it that it showed is that they're willing to try stuff. They're willing to look at something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they did a very good job assessing the actual issues.
Yep.
Like diagnosing the problem. So it was a good attempt. But I'm not sad to see it go either.
Yeah. I think the general problem of it was like if you're playing those armies, you're generally not just losing on points, right?
Yeah, and like the problem was not only like the armies that really needed it weren't able to kill those units, but the armies that didn't could kill them pretty easily, and then they just got a lot of equity from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting 3 boxes of the Spite Riders soon too.
Ooh, very exciting.
I really like them.
Did the rules turn out good? I can't remember
Yes.
if I think I saw one version, but not the other.
Yeah, one of them like is faster. It gives like strike first. Just a little
Yep, that's
teaser.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the other one is a little slower, has 2 damage on its weapon, but less
Ooh, that's
attacks.
nice, huh? Yep.
And it brings back dead models, including its own unit and other
Oh, that's
like
cool.
yeah, basically hits like Kurnoth Hunters, anything like that.
Hmm.
So and then yeah, the strike first ones are like 215, and the resurrecting ones are like 235.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which ones? What are you building?
I don't know.
Okay. To be determined.
Yeah, I definitely want like at least some of both.
Yep. That checks out. I figured you'd do some kind of mix.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2, 3, or 2 of the fast ones and 1 of the res ones.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I guess we'll see what you decide to do.
Yeah, I'll probably have decided by the time we get to the Sylvaneth review.
Probably.
And I don't know what we're doing next either, as far as Sylvaneth or Skaven. Do you have any thoughts on that?
We could flip a coin.
Yeah, we could flip a
Make it.
coin. Do I have a coin anywhere near me?
We could see what the first person in chat decides to say. Go with that.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening right now, you could be the person that decides it.
Yeah.
Go.
It's all to you. Man, I love the Kurnoth Hunters. Their shoulder pads fall off for me all the time. Anybody else
Oh,
have
do
that
they?
problem? Yeah, that's okay though. That's an easy fix.
Oh, that's funny. You should mention that. The shield just literally flew off this guy as I was
Oh,
trying to
good.
think.
Fun.
That's also an easy fix, but really, really funny timing.
Yeah. I've cursed the shield upon your model.
Oh yeah.
Onto the floor.
It's actually making it easier to paint, so you know what,
There
we're
we
going
go.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see.
Yeah, I made some lemonade out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, all right. What do you think we should do first? Do you want to do Battle Scroll or do you want to do the book?
I think the book is the more important bit to go over.
Which is
Like I think
why.
we need to see everything else in context of the book.
Okay, that's an idea. I was thinking that would be like it would be quicker to go through the Battle Scroll.
Oh, it for sure will be quicker to
Yeah,
go through the battle scroll,
as we
but
wait for people to shuffle on in.
yeah, that's true. All right, yeah, let's do that
All right, I didn't mean to twist your arm or nothing.
then. Oh no, you twisted it so hard.
All right, I'll pull that up.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, the hunt is dead, like I've said, and they did some rules changes instead. For a couple of the problematic things they saw, they are going to turn them down, and a couple of the things that are weaker, they're pulling up. And the article itself said they were going for to put armies in the 45 to 55% win rate. And they also
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
yeah, I like that idea a lot. Another
Yeah.
thing I really like that they said too is that they are aware that this doesn't touch everything, but they want more information.
Yeah, about some
Before
of the other ones.
yeah, which is
Yep.
perfectly valid, but like honestly, like that's all we really want. It's like, yes, we know it's a problem. We want to see what like these massive changes in the General's Handbook are doing
Yeah. Yeah, I
before
can
we
see
change
why
things.
with a bunch of them with spoiler alert, I can see why some of them they're like, we're not going to touch this one for now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we'll start with order, and it's all nerfs, but I think we all saw that coming.
Yeah.
That's the biggest point of like ludonarrative dissonance in this whole game. Is that
Oh, is
like
that
order's like on
orders
the
just
cusp of survival.
yeah.
Hey Kuchos, thanks for the subscription. Thanks for the
Hey.
Prime buddy. The sweet 250. Anyway, yeah, so Stormcast Eternals got the brunt of the changes. One of the things that changed is the Thunderbolt Volley, which is the thing that lets you shoot once per game. It can only target a minimum sized unit now instead of anything.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yes, I agree. And one of the arguments I keep hearing people say is like, "Oh, why does daughters get to like keep theirs?" And it's like, again, we've been over this before. That's like saying, "Look, at that man's murdered somebody. I should be able to murder him too."
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't know why about daughters. Let's not even bring that up. But I think that's a pretty healthy change.
Yeah, and it's also possible that if this proves effective, that in daughters is still a problem, that they'll get the same change in the future.
Yeah,
But the book just came out, so
exactly. They have enough evidence or enough data on this one
yeah,
to know that the army that's like 17% of the meta, almost all of the list run this.
yeah,
I I don't think that's the right number. I think it's closer to 12, but it's a big chunk.
it's a big
The
number.
biggest
Yeah,
chunk of the meta, and most of the lists have that unit
yeah.
with
So
this exact
clearly it's an
combo.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And honestly, like, it doesn't ruin the minimum size one. It doesn't even ruin like the reinforced one. Like, it's still a good unit.
yeah,
It
definitely.
just
It'll
makes you
still be run.
diversify your threats a little bit.
Yeah,
So overall, I'm very happy with that change.
it's
It's
just not quite as abusive.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next one I'm not so big on is the Storm Drake Guard. And they lost their double move, which that's not the problem.
You
Um,
know,
they get to
so what's
reroll
the problem
charges
then?
once per game. My problem is I think the actual issue with the unit is that they had such a potential to shoot very high with their dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I have had games with them where I've done like 8 or 9 mortal wounds on Overwatch,
Oh, jeez.
right?
Yeah.
Like what the hell? Yeah, like I think that's actually the problem with them is like how much damage their breath weapon can do, and it's not even like you can count on it.
Hmm.
It's just like all of a sudden sometimes you're like, oh yeah, this thing that I expect to do like 1.5 mortal wounds just did 8
Oh my god.
because it's yeah. You have two of them on a 1 to do nothing, on a 3 to 4 D3, and on a 5 to 6 it does D6.
Oh, that can spike so hard.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if you have a full army of it, it's going to happen one of these turns.
Right.
I think that's what they needed to change. And granted, like double move is absurdly powerful.
Yeah, I suppose what they're probably thinking there is the double move on top of everything else probably just throws them over the top. And so if you tone that down,
Yeah. Yeah,
maybe
tone the
that's
thing
better.
down that's like consistently overpowered about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And a free reroll charge isn't bad either.
No. It's
Yeah.
not bad. Like it's just not super good for them, right?
Yeah, maybe the idea is that they didn't want them to be like a hyper alpha strike unit. And
Hmm.
if you build a whole army around them, that you could just get all of them in your opponent's zone on turn 1.
Right.
Which, yeah, that's gross.
That's a problem. Yeah. And like even if you fail charges with them, like
You're there.
um yeah, you're there and then you have the overwatch against them and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
they charge you back and it's pretty gross all around.
Yeah. Overall, I'm more positive than negative about this change. I just
Yeah.
think they hit the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Although I think double move like just breaks the rules a little too hard, right? And
Honestly,
they're not elves,
yeah,
so
honestly, double anything is just too much of a power coefficient,
right,
I think,
exactly. Yeah,
that we shouldn't be striving for.
especially when it's consistent.
Yeah. What's next? Living Cities. This one's pretty big too. So, they had a command ability that let them shoot and then move. And then what you would do is you deep strike because you could deep strike in that army too. You'd put your fulminators or your dragons in reserve, and then you'd shoot with them, and then you would move up to 3 inches and then charge the enemy. Which there's no world where
Oh,
that's okay, in my opinion. So they changed it to mean that you can move and shoot, but you can't move closer than 9 inches to an enemy with this command point move.
okay. Yeah, that makes charges way less consistent.
Yeah, and like it's
Probably the idea.
yeah. The idea is like this is supposed to be like a board control ability on like your wanderers, right?
Right.
And then
And
like
instead it was like,
you're giving it to
uh,
dragons and then making them
yeah,
have 3 inch charges.
right.
Yeah. So that's
Not exactly the goal.
yeah, that's a fix that I'm welcome with open arms.
Yeah.
And it's not going to reduce like the viability of that army at all.
No. It just will mean your charges are a little harder now.
Yep.
But hey, now you have once per game reroll charges with them, so
There you go.
maybe it did nothing.
Yeah. Wow, that's an interesting thought.
But no, it definitely did something.
Oh, it did something. Yeah, there's going to be games where it felt like it did nothing, though.
That's true.
Yeah, you've been on the other side of the table where, like, you're like, all right, you need to fail one of these charges. And they're like, that's an 11. I don't think I can make that. Oh, that's a 12. Let's go. You're like,
yeah, I've been on both sides of that.
Yep. You're not so much on the charge one, in my experience, so much on the initiative roll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, the amount of initiative rolls I've lost.
Every charge roll you ever want.
Yep.
But you don't make initiatives at all.
Never.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, how the the so-called law of averages says everything will even out in the end, but I feel like inevitably, like, there's going to be outliers on either side for all kinds of different roles, right?
Yeah.
For different people. And it's funny to just, like, figure out what your outlier is. Like, where it's like, hey, I actually make, like, decently less of this roll than I should, and decently more of this roll than I should.
Or, like, I couldn't make a single Dance Macabre.
Yeah, exactly, but I could make every resurrection roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this is a great change.
Yep.
I support it fully. And then the last one I think is a great one too. So this is for Seraphon, where if you were coalesced, you used to have army-wide -1 damage. And now it only affects Saurus, monsters, and Croxagore.
So were skinks, like, abusing it too hard?
Salamanders, I think, would be the main
Salamanders. Oh, okay.
They were, like... But honestly, though, like, if you think about a skink, like a 70-point unit, like a 5-up... I think a 6-up save, rather, and then just, like, -1 damage for 10, like, there's just no world where that's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion.
Yep.
Especially with, like, all the books coming out, and, like, the Night Haunt Chaff unit went up, like, to 110 without getting much better.
Right.
And, like, Dryads got a little bit worse, and then kept their same point premium, so if everything's, like, going way up in points, and they haven't, they shouldn't be able to ignore 1 damage. And also, that, like... Think about, like, if something like this existed in Beast of Chaos, right? Or, like, you could separate your Ungore from Gore rather than just, like, the 32mm base. Because I feel like Gore lose to Ungore all the time just because of points, and they're just too similar.
Right.
And, like, a rules distinction like this puts value to the Saurus that they wouldn't have because the skinks are just too efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like, the Saurus... I feel like you never see the Saurus. Like, ever.
Yeah. You really don't, but I think maybe you might now.
Possible.
Yeah.
It'd be exciting to see. They're really cool models, I think.
And, like, yeah, because I could see a list where you're like, well, I ran skinks because they were, like, fine, but I just really wanted something that survives better.
Yeah,
and
now you can have the -1 damage on the Saurus and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that encourages list variety.
Yeah,
to a big
which
degree.
Is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think skinks are still fine. And I think for the most part, like, you ran skinks in not Coalesce, Starborn, where they would teleport and have, like, their shooting, like, their Unleash Hell ability, where they can also fall back on a 4-up.
But now they're just not, like, strictly better all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Now there's times to run there's times to run them and times to not and what have you.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're excited about Coalesce, you're excited about your big dinosaurs smashing.
Yeah, exactly.
Not your little guys, so yeah. This gives build variety. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't really change Thunder Lizards much. And it makes, like, the Salamanders, which are, like, way too good for their points, at least be killable. So, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good change.
I assume Claren was is that in regards to the dragons being... I feel like that comment was far after we said the dragon comment.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone will always remember the extremes. Yeah, I think it was about the dragon breath. That makes sense. Yeah, you do remember the extremes too, because like to perfectly talk about that, I remember the time where I killed Kragnos in Overwatch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
okay, well that game was over, and I killed half your army on your turn.
Oh, it was actually probably in response to when I was talking about the average or like who does the
Oh yes.
like we remember the like you never got Dance Macabre, I always got the resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what it was. But
Yep.
yeah, it perfectly fits with the dragon comment too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's a universal law of a dice game, for
Oh yeah.
sure.
Yep.
But yeah.
You always remember the crazy things that happen,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe not the just nice average game rolls.
Also, stay tuned, Claire, and we have some Gloomspite Git stuff coming up. That's probably going to be very exciting. I just know that he plays them.
Yeah.
So hell yeah. All right, this one's big too. Grand Alliance Chaos. I think all three of these were pretty substantial. So
I think so if I remember right.
think how the Legion of the First Prince trait worked was it used to have a bodyguard for Bellicor attached to this. That's gone now.
Yep.
However, he used to, if you were in range of all 4 types of demons, he got reroll hits. Now if he gets +1 to hit if he's in range of at least 1 from each.
Oh, it's at least it is still at
it
least
is
one
still
of the
from all of
following,
them.
right?
Yeah. So it went from rerolls to +1.
Right.
Which those changes are everywhere.
Yeah.
And now you don't have bodyguard, which
might be a big deal.
Yeah, this War Scroll just needed to keyword that thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm not familiar enough with the army to say if it is going to be a big deal or not. My gut says that it is. And like this was an army that was the top of the win. Like this was like the top army.
Yeah.
And so like honestly, Bellicor is still like 340 points for what, like 14 wounds, I think, right? Of like unrendable. Like he's still survivable.
Yeah, he
He's still
definitely
gonna have
is.
a 5 aboard, yeah.
It just doesn't have the extra survivability.
Yeah. Now he's just gonna be very hard to kill instead of unkillable.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, which
That's
I don't know, that might be like a couple percentages in tournament showing.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody got the all different kinds of demon units for the rerolls to hit though. I don't think that was a goal. I think people just flooded the board with pink horrors and fairies.
Oh, so no one actually ever did the. I mean, I'm not surprised no one did that. That doesn't seem like
No, I don't. Yeah,
thing.
I could be wildly off the mark there though too, but I don't think so.
I think they got rid of the rerolls just because they're trying to get rid of rerolls. So at the same time of making other change, might as well make that change too.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, you're touching the rule. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. Hedonites the Slanesh. They got a lot of points drops on a lot of their units. The only ones I remember off the top of my head are Sigvald. He went down to like 60.
Oh my god.
Which was funny because I think he was like already like an absurdly powerful unit in that army.
So now he's like a must take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for like 200 points for that. Like just ignoring wards, he could get up to like his charge roll and attack. Minimum of 5, like run 2 damage. If he fights what he wants to fight, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah. I think that's good. Bliss Barbs went down 30 points.
Ooh, there you go.
Their battle line. So that's pretty big.
Yep.
I think that makes sense.
That'll be big with the General's Handbook too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think archers are going to benefit more from that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. But
yeah,
you might be right. So the other thing about that too is like I think it's perfectly fair that these are 140. If like Reavers are 170 and like the Sentinels are 170.
Actually, you know what? Maybe I take that back. I don't want to sound stupid. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. All right, take it back. Redacted.
Redacted for now.
Yeah. But either way, yeah. I just think that Bliss barbs are now a huge step above, like a lot of the more recent archers, like crossbows, Oric
Yep.
Hearthguard. So I'm not
Man,
sure if they're finding like what they want in their archery slots yet, but
man, crossbows need something though.
yeah, for sure. I can't
They
believe they
don't
got
cut it,
printed
do
like
they?
that. Yeah, that's okay. They'll get good one day. You know how this
Yeah, I'm
game
sure
is.
they will.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
we're gonna.
Everyone has their time in the sun, right?
Yeah, and I think Painbringers were 150, and
I think they were 160 even.
oh, okay, so yeah, that's a 40-point drop.
Yeah,
And I don't know about the Twin Souls. I think they were up there too. So I think all of these are like a pretty substantial point drop.
I don't know the Twin Souls now.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I remember they're like one of the units that people thought were like really cool, even though they were expensive. So I think people are just gonna be excited to run them cheaper. Slan guards are
Alex, why
still
didn't
way
you
too
glue this
much.
guy down?
Huh?
I said, why didn't you glue this guy down?
That's a great question. Oh, that's really funny. I might have, and it just
Yeah.
popped off.
No,
That's
I
real
totally did.
funny. Yeah.
Some of these, it seems like the like where you would think that they would sit glued on, they don't actually connect there very well. So that
Oh,
like
I see.
it just doesn't hold at all.
I see.
That's funny though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
That's all good. But overall, I think like people are gonna get a couple hundred points back in their Slanesh armies now, which could be
That's a big deal.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that affects them.
Yep.
It will, but we'll see how. I guess I meant.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. And then the last one, you'll be able to speak to this one is Blades of Corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So all they had to do was delete a sentence in their rules text. So basically, what
That's so much.
happened was whenever you spent a reward like points for one of your summons or your abilities, no matter what, your points would go to 0.
Yeah.
So if like you had 6 points and you wanted to pay the 2-point one, you'd go to 0.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was the case.
That is the
And
case.
like I'm
Yep.
retroactively angry about that after
Yeah, you
hearing
lost all
about
your
this. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I don't play the RB, so I don't know, but like wow, that's really frustrating that that's how it works.
It was always weird because like you'd be like, well, maybe I want to use this small thing now, like this 2-point ability or something. But oh, I've actually accumulated a few points now, so I really can't do that because I'm just giving away a whole pile of, my blood
Yeah.
tithe points. Yeah,
And that makes context too of like I feel like most people I saw would just like save up and then summon like a bloodthirster.
right,
And I was like,
exactly.
oh, that seems like a meme, but like I guess that's what you had to do.
Oh yeah, because like you could just randomly overshoot something, like if you wanted to use like I think they have an anti-magic one for 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the case. Um, but you could just like, oops, now you have 4 points, and yeah, you could use it if you want to, but do you want to now?
No.
You might have to,
Yeah.
but then you're losing extra points, and it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, so that's insane that it didn't work like that, but it's great
Yeah.
that it does.
Yep, right. That does now.
And you know what? That's actually kind of a theme here. Is we're gonna see a lot of I deleted a sentence and made this thing way better.
You know what I'm curious about, and I haven't looked at in the book, is if it says that you have to spend the points, or if that's the only thing, or if that sentence was the only thing that actually said anything about like how you would lose said points.
Oh man.
So I'm really curious if now rules as written, obviously not as intended, but rules as written if you just don't actually lose points at all.
I'm sure you do. But
I'm sure you do, and anyone would rule that in their right mind. But
that would
I'm
be
curious.
hilarious.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. But either way, that was a way more impactful change than the White Dwarf was.
Yes, decidedly so.
Yeah. It's like not even close either.
I mean, the corn still has the same issue of you shoot the blood secretor off the table and you lose,
Yeah.
or you get it shot off the table and you lose. But but that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there.
That sounds like a book thing to me, but
It is. It's totally a book thing, right? Like you
yeah,
can't
unfortunately.
change all that in effect. So
Yeah.
we'll wait for the book.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, like if you play, like you can play fun games where as long as you're not going against someone who's got like a ton of archers that can just shoot your blood secretor immediately. Like if you're
Yeah.
playing against someone else, like that's just got a melee army, you can still have fun.
Yeah, if you're going against death, you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
For example.
Except those pesky crossbows, they'll come and get me.
Yeah. If you let
Actually,
me
I
within
think
12
that'd be
inches of
fine.
you, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Like the buff is actually bigger than that, so I think I'm good.
Yep. Oh man. All right. But overall, I think we're like 6 for 7 out of here as an extremely positive.
Yeah.
Perfect. Grandeline's death. We got 2 things here. Flesh Eater Courts just have the ward and now they don't have to be within range of a hero.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was added to the courtiers. Is that not what it was?
No. The name is called Deathless Courtiers. They just have it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So the reason why like this is especially good for this army is because your whole thing is about summoning on a board edge.
Right, when they're naturally just not near.
Yeah. So you need to dedicate like summons for a hero. Too.
Right, which you don't want to, obviously.
Yeah. And like the ones that you have to summon a hero, I guess, but that forced you to bring like a one that would have to summon a hero. Or like force you to like actually stick close to your deployment so that a hero could hang out near them. So this makes them actual free agents.
And which all of those rules probably would have been fine, given like if their power level was higher, but this is an easy way to just increase their power level when they're struggling, right? Yeah. Like trade-offs like that are cool and all, but and totally fine for the game, just it depends on the power level of the rest of the army.
Yeah. And I think what happened a lot in tournaments too is like I hear people say that like people would play Flesh Eater Courts and then forget about that. Oh shit, I don't have a hero here at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that led to like a lot of like, all right, so what do we do about that? Well, I guess we can't go back, but that sucks that we did. Oops.
That forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's very easy to do with that particular army.
And I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done it, but I think I'm just like so inundated with having to be near a hero.
Right.
That's like all I play.
I mean, it's really easy to make those mistakes, though.
Oh,
like,
of course.
There's so much going on, and you're like always like thinking, oh yeah, I have rerolls available to me, or I have ward saves available to me. I always do, and then it's like, oh, but you don't actually always do. You just happen to usually have them.
And I think the thing about this too is like Flesh Eater Courts weren't like that far behind.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't need anything major, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
And then this is actually like an exciting thing that makes you think about the army a little differently.
Yeah.
So like that's the perfect spot for like a new rule like this, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, awesome. And then OCR Bone Reapers, this one's pretty important too. Is if you have a Mortis in general, which I have been lately, is your Deathstalker or your Necropolis Stalkers and your Immortus Guard are battle line.
How about that?
Yep.
That's cool.
I have no idea how this affects the army right now.
Right?
It's pretty like until like this General's Handbook I'd have been like, well, like you still want a lot of your Mortec Guard because you want like the saves, but like man, they're gonna get mulched by a bounty hunter. And like this
yeah. But do these guys get any less mulched by bounty hunter?
No, that's the problem. But
right.
You get to fight in like 2 ranks. How many games did you play against me where I had like the reinforced unit of stalkers and only 3 of them?
Oh, that's true. That is very true. Yeah.
That's like the most important thing there.
Yeah.
So like my thing about like stalkers though is that they got killed anyway because they're like such a high priority threat. So you had to hide them and then pull them out when the time was right.
Yep.
And this just makes them way better at that.
Yeah.
They all get to fight now.
Also makes them an easier target though because of the bounty hunters. But we're getting ahead of ourselves once again.
Yeah. Talk about bounty hunters soon.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm very happy with these changes. I think this is going to lead to a lot of more list building options here, which is great. And we got some changes to Oric War Clans and Gloomspite Gifts. So the Oric War Clans is it's all about, or mostly about, cruel boys, and then there's a savage orcs. What are they called? Bone splitters rule. That's actually pretty big too. So each gut ripper, you can include a unit of hobgrots as a battle line. So gut rippers are like laughably one of the most overcosted units in this game. Still are.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
means
Why
you
did
take one less of them.
they made them better by requiring less of them?
Yeah,
Hmm. That's odd.
and like battle line options are fun too.
Yeah. No,
Like
it's true.
I get it. That's such a weird like way to handle this.
Yeah, you could have just made them cost a few less points. Like
Yeah.
that would have been okay. Yeah,
I don't hate it though.
it's
But
okay.
yeah, I'm not sure it's
I
I think
think
people are
they.
still gonna do like big yellows and just do the shooting ones anyway. For
Yeah,
battle
I
line.
think what they wanted to do for I think the idea here was more for the General's Handbook Collection Veterans rule um than any like buff to um to the unit to the gut rippers themselves.
Right.
I think they just wanted the Hobgrots to be able to be the veterans as well.
That might be right, yeah. But like they wanted you to still have to run gut ruppers because if they made them
Yeah, they didn't just want to
battle
make
line,
Hobgrots battle line.
then
Yeah,
you'd never see a gut ripper ever again.
ever again. Yeah,
Yeah.
useless model.
Yeah. And the
Speaking, okay, so random aside. All right.
sure.
Um, so we're gonna have another stream coming up that I don't think we've mentioned yet. Of once all the new paints come out, which I'm very excited about. Um, I'm gonna just get all of them, and we're just gonna have a stream where we just try out all these different colors, right?
Yeah. That sounds fun.
And I was thinking of getting some of the Cruel Boys, like some of the just like the little box set, just to like paint some of those up too.
Okay.
Because I got some Deadwalker zombies, and I was thinking of picking a few of them up. Those might be fun to paint with this and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, random aside.
That's fine though.
While I was thinking about it,
Yeah, that should be fun. I'm excited for
yeah, I'm
that.
so excited. I'm so excited for that show.
Yeah. And then what else? Grinning Blades is one of the sub factions they had. This is another case of they deleted a sentence and made a lot of value. This was used to be in the first turn you couldn't be shot unless you were more than 12 away. Or you couldn't be shot if you were more than 12 away from an enemy. Now it's just every turn instead of the first turn.
That's a big deal, right?
I think
Like
so.
that feels like a big deal.
Yeah.
They might be bad enough that it doesn't matter. Like in general,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, because oh man, because there's definitely going to be matchups where this does nothing too.
Exactly.
Is the
Exactly.
problem with this rule?
Yeah.
But there's going to be matchups where they need to like get into range of charge of you in order to like actually deal with you.
Right.
And then they'll be able to like clear you off, but they can only like pick one unit at a time. And like Cruel Boys are like the lists that do well are like the monster mash lists, right? That have the Troll Rider with like the 4-up save and then the Sludge Raker, which is like
Yeah.
the monster support piece. So this like keeps them alive from shooting.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like this might be big, or it might be
We'll see.
nothing.
Yeah,
I have
it
no
really
idea.
depends on how the meta shakes out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I really don't know, but I think it's
'Cause-
a reasonable change because it's so frustrating to pick a sub faction based on what it
Yeah,
can do
single
first turn. Yeah,
Yeah, right? Like it's like, yeah, they might have shot me first turn, but they also might not have.
Yeah.
And then my sub faction rule is gone.
yeah. So like that's just a negative play experience too. Of just like,
Yeah.
my thing only works sometimes on one turn.
Yeah.
And if it's already like fringe on what it can work on, why is it limited by turn?
Yeah, it's like not only do they have to have shooting, but they also have to have shooting that's in range turn 1.
Yeah.
And which might happen. Like there might have been some games where it was relevant. Maybe.
Yeah, and like the one matchup I
like-
can think of is Lumineth, who ignore this anyway.
Oh, do they? Oh, because is it they can't see them?
Yeah, they're
Is that
not
how
visible.
it's worded?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not visible?
Yep.
It's not even can't shoot, it's not visible?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yep.
Oh, get out of here. That's stupid.
Yeah, so like I think KO just found a nemesis. Is
Yeah,
really what
right?
happened here.
Yeah.
So wow, that's gonna suck for them, isn't it?
I mean, it's gonna suck against this one army. Yeah, like if your local matchup is Cruel Boys versus KO just has something coming now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Good for them.
yeah,
That's a positive change, but again, like both of these, I don't know if that's just what the doctor called for with this army.
yeah.
And I don't think it is whatsoever, but
No,
we'll
I
take
don't think
it.
they got nearly enough.
No.
But
Bone Splitters, on the other hand, this one's pretty big. So they have this rule, Spirit of Gorka Morka, which is unmodified hit rolls for an attack made with melee weapons by Bone Splitter unit is a 6. It scores 2 hits instead of 1.
floating sixes.
So they used to have that, but it had to be on a unit of 5 or more.
Oh, okay.
So that means heroes get this now. That means the Rogue Idol gets this now.
Ooh,
And you know what this means?
what's that?
Is when you were fighting with your pigs or whatever, and as soon as you hit casualties to have 4 models in the unit, you lost your exploding 6s.
Oh my god.
Yep. It's back now. So you just have it.
You just have it now. All right.
Yeah, I never
Is
knew why it
is
was
that
limited.
enough? Probably not. But
It's weird
it's something.
because it might be. Because
You think so?
yeah, well, because it can go on heroes now, and it can go on the Rogue Idol. And the Rogue Idol is already, like, a monster masher. Like, really good.
Yeah.
And then he gets exploding 6s. It makes an interesting choice of that over Kragnos. Like, that's kind of cool. Some
Yeah.
of the heroes have, like, decent rends. Like, some of the combat... Like, yeah, some of the combat heroes are actually pretty decent in combat.
So I guess my thing is, exploding sixes is fun and all, but like, it's what at best like
It's
a
equivalent to +1 to hit most of the time.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess +1 to hit's is usually considered pretty good.
Yeah. The
I
thing
don't know.
is, though, is, like, this army's defined by massive dice. And this makes the massive dice even more massive.
That's true.
So, I don't think it's going to make them like a 55% army.
But maybe it'll make them a 45% army.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
It makes them appealing. And like in Big Wall, like you get all of these, like your army one, so
Oh, that's
it makes them
interesting.
better in Big Wall as well.
Yeah.
Which means I think the Rogue Idol gets exploding 6s and then the Cruel Boys poison thing.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
They don't need to have their does the Rogue Idol like have all of the factions or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
That's how he's worded.
Interesting.
Yeah, right?
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like you're
Does
right,
it
like
only
this one's
happen? Do you just automatically get all 3 in Big Y? Is that how it works?
I'm almost certain that's how it works, but I have to like
Okay.
read.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But like I don't know, like this just I don't think it's doing like an insane amount. It's not like, oh, get your yeah, get your bone
Get
splitters
out your
now.
bone
They're splitting.
splitters.
Yeah. But like I think if
They're
you're like
winning all the tournaments.
yeah, like I think it's the same exact kind of caliber as your new Blood Tithe rule for Corn. Where like
Right.
if you weren't playing them because you didn't like the army, it's not gonna make you be like, hold on. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
huge. But you're gonna be like, okay, I'm playing these and I enjoy them and I want to do good with them. And this gives me a lot of food for thought, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, this'll definitely make things better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, like, fantastic. Like, you don't want to do big sweeping changes with these either. Because, like,
Right.
if you do too much, like, you could just turn everything right on its head.
Yeah, you never want to go too hard on the changes, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Exactly. So, I'm very happy with that. It doesn't seem oppressive, which is good.
Yep.
But it seems like food for thought.
Yep.
Now we'll talk about Gloomspite, because I think they got actually pretty good shit right here. Alright.
They went a little harder here.
They went a little harder here, but it was the army. I guess Krill Boys is down there now with the most recent. like the lowest army in the game.
Mhm.
So they need a little something. That's fine. So Frothing Zealots is so Moon Clan, which are like the foot grots. When they're under the light of the bad moon, you return one slain model on a 4-up instead of a 6-up for rally.
Okay,
Yep.
that can be pretty good.
Yeah. So on a unit that can get up to 60, like
That could be a lot of guys coming
yeah,
back.
if you're like living, yeah, the the goblin wet dream here of you
Yeah.
killed 55 of them and you just barely hang on, and then you rally and roll 55 dice and get 25 of them back.
Oh my god,
Oh, that's living.
that would be living.
That is living. Is it doing much for you? It depends.
It's questionable, but hey, you know what? You're gonna take it.
That's a moment though. That's really fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's a
Yep.
story. I like that change though. I always like rally, and I like when I see rally get better. That's a bias I
I
have, but
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of rally, but
yeah.
when it gets better like that, it's more fun.
Well, that's what it is. It's like you play elite armies, and you're like, I'm gonna roll my 5 dice, and statistically, I probably won't even get anything out of this. Fun.
Well, I mean, getting 1 out of 6 back even in a horde army doesn't feel super great.
No.
It's always been my problem with it. It's just like it's so low. But like all of the upgrades they're giving to rally make it more interesting for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. And then like I like it when it's like placed strategically too,
Right.
because things with like really good rally could be problematic.
Yes,
But
definitely.
like it's not going to be on this unit. Even if you get
No.
25 of them back, like I probably killed 55 of them in one turn. Like, you're just going to get a point back from me for a turn. Oh well.
Yeah.
And like
But
that's
it's
probably
something.
going to be points, and that's probably going to swing a game.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like, oh god, the gits are coming. They'll never die.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of that.
I mean, first off, you have to like get them out of combat for a full turn, right? Like
Yeah.
that's always the thing with rally,
Yeah.
in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know if this has changed, but I reread Rally, and it says in the hero phase. So you can do it in either hero phase. That might be new.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is that just something I've always missed?
I don't know. I wonder, because I don't remember hearing it change unless it was like in this handbook.
I don't think it was. Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe that's just something we always just assumed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Interesting.
All right.
Okay, so maybe my hate of that part of rally is unfounded then.
Yeah,
Because you
because
can retreat and then their turn and then you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Actually, all right. That changes things significantly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like double check on that, but
Yeah.
I vaguely remember reading that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No, that's a big difference.
Let's rifle through these because it's already 8 o'clock almost.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
noticed that, and it's like, oh man,
Yeah,
this
we got a
is
little
this is
carried
the
away
short
here.
part of the show.
Yeah, we had a lot more to say than I thought, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so the other Gloomspite rule is Troggoths. They used to re-roll the dice that let them determine if they could regenerate under the bad moon. Now they just get +1 save. Great.
+1 save. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that's a fantastic change.
Yeah, instead of like re-rolling a 4-up. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. And then the last change, you might be like, oh, but I'll never get the bad moon. That's how the goblins work. If you're within 12 inches of the Loon Shrine, you count as being under the bad moon.
Bam.
Yep.
Got him.
We can go on and on about how awesome that is. It's really good.
Yep, that is super good.
Yeah, because you have this new rally rule, this new save rule.
Yep.
Like your squigs can run in charge, and I think you're immune to battle shock under the moon.
Oh goodness. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, this is mine. This part of the board belongs to me.
Me alone.
Yep.
I will be here.
All
yeah,
right.
you did that. And 12 inches is pretty big range too.
Yeah. It really is. And like this thing's huge too. This terrain
Yeah.
piece
Oh
is
yeah, that
massive.
model is
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
All right, let's jump in to the General's Handbook. My God, everything you know about Warhammer, throw it out the window. It's gone. Yeah, this used to be a horde game, and then it became a monster game briefly, and it was a nice respite, but we're back to the hordes.
We're back to the hordes.
So, the core rules that everybody gets, like from this battle pack, in Galet, I think it's pronounced, or Gallet, or Gillette. What would you like to call it?
I'm thinking gullet, so let's go with gallet.
Gallet. Oh, like a monster's tummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
that's perfect sense with this
there we
game's
go.
thinking. The realm of Gur, yeah.
Yeah,
Gallet, perfect.
Eh,
All right, so in the realm of
did it
Gallet,
hurt first?
yeah. So in this world here, we are in like a bunch of like winding labyrinthian tunnels and stuff, and that's really exciting and fun. And so instead of
Yep.
like big monsters raining in this continent, it's about your small infantry. So you become a I said Galatian veteran, but I guess that's different now. It's a Galatian. I'm gonna say Galatian. I like that better.
Yeah, that's what I say.
All right, it's a Galatian veteran.
Luncheon.
If
Yeah.
you are 4 or less wounds and you don't have a mount, remember, kids, you're a coward and you're a loser if you're on a horse. You're not a veteran at all.
No, you're just a bounty hunter. Moving on.
Nice. But so what this gives you is battle. It's called Bonds of Battle, and it's like this long paragraph of like if you're within a half inch of a unit that's within a half inch. Basically, what this means is you fight in 2 ranks.
Yep.
You don't have to measure that out. Which, and when I saw this, I immediately thought, hey, that's the 40k rule that I like.
Yep.
And then I thought maybe, you know what, maybe this should just be how it works in the future. Because
I think that's what they're testing out.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the biggest time waster in this game is measuring weapon ranges.
Yeah.
This gets rid of that and it lets you fight with everything. And like there was such a negative experience about having your 32mm 1-inch range guy like
Oh
being
my god,
forced to just like hang out in the back like a dunce.
I have complained endlessly about that.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
And like I get it.
I feel like I picked every army that had that, and it was just like, god damn it.
Well, because most of them are. Yeah, if you weren't a horde
Yeah.
army, you were that.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying. And
Yeah.
like I was just complaining about it with the OBR guys, the Death Stalk or the Necropolis Stalkers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like this is great. Like I think it's a test to see if this is gonna be evergreen. I could see it being evergreen,
I could see it being evergreen.
and
yeah.
I would hope, and I hope it will be. I already know that I'm going to like this rule, even
Yeah.
when it's against me.
The only problem is like because okay, so important things to point out is that Galentian veterans have to be battle line units, right?
Yes.
And there are other restrictions on them, so it might be a little difficult to figure out. Oh, I picked this subfaction this time, so they're not,
Yeah.
Galentian veterans this time, but they are other times. And oh, I measured wrong. I think there's definitely going to be some heartache there, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I think it's a bad rule overall because I do like it.
If anything, that's more of an argument. If it should just be evergreen.
Oh no, exactly.
Yeah, Galatin veteran thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Let's see, and then proving grounds is a new rule. So, like in Thondia, you used to have to on the third battle round. If you went second, you deleted an objective. So now what happens is if you go second on any turn, you can pick an objective on the field to be the proving ground, which means only veterans can hold it. And each objective can only be picked once per battle. And you don't have to pick either that turn if you don't want.
Interesting.
I'm immediately way happier with that than on the third turn delete one.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the main problems is there's not enough incentive to want to go second. And if you make it like an every turn thing, like that's an actual incentive.
Right.
I like it. I'm not sure
It's
how it's
very
going to play in
interesting, yeah.
practice, but I like it a lot on the surface.
Yeah, so like those two things for Galentian veterans are nice, right?
Yeah.
Those are decent buffs for some units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another problem I had with Thondia is like the realm spell and the command trait were like nothing. It was just like the first like low hanging fruit that they could think of for a lore thing for like, oh, you turn into a monster and grr, that's fun. Or like, oh, the monsters are at fight top bracket. Okay. You feel like what?
Yeah, they're not bad, but
They're not bad, but they weren't like. What I'm about to get at is I feel like these ones are like somebody really thought about like the scenarios in here and like
mhm,
how you could really impact them in the exact degree they wanted them to be impacted by these.
yeah,
Is all I'm saying,
sure, yeah.
which is great. So, Gaze of Gur. Where's my next button? Here it is. Yep. Gaze of Gur is a casting value 7 spell. Pick a enemy unit within 12. And when determining the number of models in this enemy unit that are contesting an objective, your opponent must have the number rounding down.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so if you hit like a horde, and like obviously there's 30 in there, they count as 15. What does that mean for like monsters? That means they count for 0, right?
When determining the number of models,
Yes. You have the number of models rounding down.
have. See, I was just assuming it was like they count as 5, so now they count as 2.
Oh, okay.
But is that not what it says?
When
Let's
determining
see.
the number of models in that enemy unit that are contesting an objective. When this comes back to how the contesting rule is worded, right? It's like
I think that means it would go from 5 to 2.
okay.
Because when you're determining the number of models, right? Something counts as 5 models, so you determine that you have 5 models there, and then you have
If
it.
that's how it's
I
worded,
think
then absolutely, yeah.
I think that's how that would work, right?
Yeah. It's not exactly clear, but like
No, I
I
agree.
think you're right overall.
Because then otherwise you'd be like, "Hey, Sons of Behemoth, you count as nothing." So what's funny is I
Yeah.
was about to be like, "Oh my god, that like halves the Sons of Behemoth thing," right? And now you're like, "Do they count as 0 or do they count as more than 0?" And I'm like, "Well, now it doesn't sound as good when that was the other option."
That's still huge though.
No, it is. It
Like
definitely is.
like that
Yeah.
was like one of the main things that like made Sons of Behemoth like so oppressive, to
Right.
be honest, was like some armies just couldn't outbody them whatsoever. Now
Right.
like
Exactly.
it's not about if you can kill them or not. Like you could still have an objective game here.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
No, me too.
Yeah, and of course like a lot of games you probably aren't going to use this, but like again, they really thought about the scenarios. Like this is a great
Yep.
spell for this.
Yep.
I like that. And then the Realm Command, I'm not as thrilled with this one, but it's like I get it and I like it. So, if a Galatian veteran charges a unit that has 10 or more models. Okay, no, alright, hold on. Let me just read it. The unit that receives this command must be a Galatian veteran that has 10 or more models. Pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of that unit that has a wounds characteristic of 4 or less and roll a dice. The roll is greater than the number of models in that enemy unit. The strike last effect applies to that enemy unit in the following combat phase. So, if you have a horde unit and you charge, you have to roll greater than the number of models in that unit, and if you do, that unit gets strike last. That seems
I know
very
what.
narrow, right?
Incredibly so.
Yeah.
Like,
Huh. This one's really hard for me because strike last, like I've talked about, and we will when the Sylvaneth show comes up about how absolutely powerful strike last is. But this is like
so how?
suffering from like the like the nested if statements,
Oh my god! It
basically.
absolutely like it's almost impossible to figure out what this is trying to say.
Yeah.
I think this is good against like Necropolis Stalkers style units.
Yes, that's what I
Is
think
that
too.
true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like minimum sized ogres or like paladins.
Paladins. Yeah.
Like annihilators are probably gonna be hit the most by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that's what it's
Maybe
supposed to be
maybe like
against.
Baron Guard actually get hit by it too.
They're more than 4 wounds.
Oh, they're more than 4 wounds. Right, there's that
Yeah.
random little tidbit of information in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, what a confusing. Okay, that's all right.
This is gonna be one of the things where I think like the majority of people just forget about.
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
it's gonna come up in a game and it's just gonna absolutely win you the game. Or lose you the game,
Right.
depending on whose side you are.
Yeah.
Like, this is rarely gonna be in the game, and when it is, it's going to have drastic effects on the game, which is kind of cool. Like, it's like a good thing to have in the back pocket, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think every once in a while it's gonna have a drastic effect, and someone's gonna be like, "This is fucking bullshit."
Yeah.
That kind of whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be like some gotcha that someone pulls out and been like, haha.
Mm-hmm. And like, if there's ever like live coverage of tournaments, like this would be like the thing that like,
Like, oh my god, they got
yeah,
it.
like the it's lightning helix moment. Yeah,
Exactly.
which like I think that's kind of exciting and fun. But I could see
Yeah.
this just being a negative play experience too. But like, I don't know. I like strike last as a rule quite a bit. It's just so conditional.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like you have to have 10. And the other thing is, if you take what if you have a 10 model unit and you lose one guy, you can't use it anymore.
Yeah,
Very,
exactly.
very conditional.
Yeah. Granted, this goes off before Unleash Hell. How annoying would that be?
Oh, does it really?
Well, because it's in the charge, and like you can't do Unleash Hell until the charge is resolved. So like impact hits
Oh
actually like
man.
lower number of models before you do Unleash Hell too,
Okay.
which is why impact hits are kind of important.
Yep.
But yeah, like
Oh,
I'm gonna get somebody with this one time, I think.
one time.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
I don't think that's even unrealistic.
All right. So I think I disagree with you about the fact that of this one being well made and thought out. I don't think so. I think this was something someone put way too many if statements in, and that just makes it a not good
I
rule.
feel like the guy who wrote it probably had a really good reasoning for it, and then they just like went through production, and then they like look what they did to my boy, this guy, you know?
Yeah, they were probably like they probably had a version of a rule that was too good, and they were trying to think of ways to tone it down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, like at that point, should you just have done a different rule,
yeah,
right?
probably.
Like, yeah,
But
that's
like the
that's
way this
that's my
company
thought.
feels
Right?
like is like sometimes there's just like the book comes out tomorrow. Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that could be too.
yeah, it feels like that sometimes.
Yeah,
But like
yeah, I don't disagree.
this one's close, and like I think we could be surprised by it. But my initial read
Uh,
is that
I
oh
just
boy.
I just don't like it because of like how difficult that is to read.
Yeah,
Like it took me quite a few reads to figure out what the heck that was trying to do,
you
and I
need
just
like a
think that's
quest
that's just
list,
negative.
right?
Yeah, you need like okay, do I fulfill all of these conditions? All right, now roll a die.
Yeah.
All right, now check the table. Did you get the right roll? Okay, you did. All right, this rule applies now. All right,
And
but you need like a whole fucking checklist for it to come out right. I don't know.
it could have been
It's
just
weird.
like it outnumbered the enemy unit, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think it's a way too wordy of a rule in a game that already has an intense mental load.
Yeah, it's not
That's my
perfect.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. I like the idea of it, I guess, is what I mean.
Oh, that's fine.
And it's like strike last is like a really cool thing to give to everybody.
Yeah. And you know what? It might even like be effective at times, but like I don't think that necessarily makes it a good rule.
Yeah, I agree. It's so close though. All right,
Maybe.
let's talk about the big boys. Is the old like Generalist Handbook battalions are gone, which the only one we cared about was Hunters of the Heartland.
Yep.
So that's gone, and probably good riddance. Well,
I feel
wherever.
like it seemed important. That was the counter one, right? Like in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, monsters everywhere. Here's your answer to monsters.
I think we're about to say good riddance to another one when the next general handbook comes out.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that too. I'm very concerned. Actually, for both of these, seem insane.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
start with the tamer of the two. Expert Conquerors. Only Galatian veterans can fit in here. That being said, they count as 3 instead of 1 for the purpose of the objective.
Which at first glance you're like, holy shit.
Yep. And the one game I had was like I just had like some units hanging out outside of a battalion, and I'm like, oh, I'll just throw them in here anyway. And it was my units of like spirit hosts, right?
Yeah.
So it was like 2 units of 3 spirit hosts were in here, and then like they just counted as 9,
Yeah.
and like that it steals stuff from monsters.
Yeah.
Like I just
It
took a
does.
point from Goretrack by like shuffling 3 little idiots up next to it. It's
Yeah.
like 2.0 all over again.
Yep. And
Yeah.
that's the tamer one, folks. That's the tamer one.
And like I'm just trying to think of like I think everybody's head would go immediately to like, oh god, zombies, clan rats. Counts as 180.
Well, see, the thing is, you get to a point where the numbers don't matter anymore. So it's
Right.
actually probably more effective for like the Spiritos and stuff, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like one of those things where it's like you're gonna have guys left over. You might as well throw them in here,
Yep.
unless you really want like the 1-drop still, which you might.
You might.
Yeah, but
I think it's less likely these days.
yeah. Let's talk about the other one too, because I think we can
Hey,
talk
we're
about both of
finally
them together.
here.
Yeah.
All right, now I can actually talk.
Bounty hunters. Let's read this one extremely carefully. Headhunter.
Yeah.
So troops can be in here. So anything that's not an artillery or a behemoth or a hero can be in here.
Yep.
Which means if you have like your conditional battle lines, like your dragons could be in here, because if they're a battle line, they're not a behemoth. Oh, they're
That
not a
was true,
behemoth
right?
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You can put a turtle in there. Yeah, whatever. Whatever your battle line is can go in here. Bounty hunters, you can
Oh,
put
that'd
3
be
units here. If the target of an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in
Mhm.
this battalion is a Galatian veteran unit, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that weapon for that attack. Holy shit, dude.
Add 1 to damage. Oh, all right. Here we go.
Yeah. Call an
There's a reason I'm
ambulance,
painting
but
these
not
guys,
from
by the
me.
way. Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh.
So
All right.
remember all those nice little rules they had for Galentian veterans that are like, oh man, you can play the objective game so much better.
Yeah.
And also, you're gonna fucking die
Yeah.
so fast to the enemy's bounty hunter units.
And like
You're gonna die so fast.
and I think like this is turning heads, right? Obviously, because I think a lot of
Yeah.
people like their first thought is either, "Oh, this unit that I had that's not as good as I want it to be. Maybe it's really good now."
Yeah.
Like your Chaos Knights right there doing 2
Yeah,
damage.
Chaos Knights. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I hate Chaos Knights because they hit like wet noodles. Oh, but if I make them bounty hunters, they're probably gonna kick a whole lot of ass.
I
now.
think Cavalo's Death Riders, like I had the ones with the spears, right?
Yeah.
And like we'll talk about that in a little bit too when we get to the endless spells, but I think there's ways with like that. And like if you don't, yeah, all right, I'll just talk about it. I don't, Purple Son of Shaiish gives an additional rend now, or reduces enemy save. So like you
Yeah.
have those 2 things working together, and your thing is like additional damage and additional rend. Like that makes
Yeah.
anything insanely powerful.
Right.
Yeah, and I think this is gonna be best on my first take on this is you're gonna put up you want it on cavalry because you want to charge in Galatian veterans that are probably also bounty hunters and chop them down to size.
Yeah.
While
And-
making sure you don't get chopped down.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I think cavalry that can be battle lined, like Chaos Knights, is even better, right? Because, like, I don't even know if I want to run Galatian veterans, or very many of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost going the opposite direction here. Of like, I'm gonna fill out this bounty hunter unit with the best stuff I got, and then if they run just bounty hunters and like few Galatian veterans like me, well,
Yeah.
then we're on an even playing field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. But if they run a whole pile of Galentian veterans being like, I'm going to play the objective game, I'm going to be like, all right, cool. I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
I'll just force you off point. Yeah, sure. You can have that. You can have that point for a few seconds before I just kill all of your units, and it doesn't matter anymore.
I'm just trying to think of like I would love to talk to somebody at this company and be like, why? Why are we doing this?
Now we could be wrong, and like maybe this isn't as impactful. But like, there are so many units that I feel like could be so good. Like anything that has like 1 damage but a high volume of attacks, like say
Yeah.
these guys, or or these bad boys over here,
And it affects the mounts
or
too.
yeah,
Your
yeah, it
horses are
totally
2
does,
damage.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was actually wondering that, and
Yeah.
I was listening carefully for that when you were reading it.
Yeah, it affects
Yeah.
the mounts.
So like eels have like a shit ton of attacks.
Yeah.
Like you can put them in one of these, and that just all of those attacks do how much damage now?
Yeah.
Like
Varangard go
it's
in there.
nuts. Oh my god, Varangard.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Blade Geist Revenants go in there too, which 3 attacks each. 1
Yeah.
damage. Like, that's insane.
Yup.
Like, I think you're gonna be seeing that a lot. I think any cavalry can benefit from this.
And the interesting part is Galentian Veterans is not like an optional thing, right?
No, if you meet the conditions, you must.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not like you can just be like, oh, I don't want to do it.
However, in like the newer books,
Which is good.
we have units that may or may not be battle line.
That's true.
And
So
then
you
you
could
can
like
mix
pick
them up.
alternate.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So there's
This is gonna become a mess.
yeah. So like in the idea, there's like a cool list building aspect of like, oh, well, I can not make my guys a mortis and a general now because I don't want my stalkers to take double damage.
Right?
Yep.
But like you want the double like you want the like fight in 2 ranks thing, but you also don't want to just get like absolutely pummeled by
Yeah.
a bounty hunters thing. Now, can you only take each battalion once? Is that an official thing?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So thank God for that.
So that's thank God for that, right?
Yep. Like
So
yeah.
maybe that's the thing that holds us back, right? Like that you can only
You pick your favorite 3 units. Yeah.
yeah you have to pick 3. But like, do you just like pick like 3 real good units and just like pummel people
Yeah.
with it? I think you do.
I think they wanted like monsters to still have a place.
Well, but the funny thing is, most monsters can't use this, right? Unless
Well, no,
you
they
make
want
them-
to use your monsters to go after the bounty hunters.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So
So-
it's like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're trying to do. So like they expect you to take one of each of these battalions, or like
Yeah.
a 1-drop, or like a 1-drop in one of these.
Yeah.
And you have like layers of screens where like your first layer is like a cavalry unit or something that is not a veteran to absorb this charge. And then you have your bounty hunter to hit their thing that took the charge.
The weird part is, right? Most good screens are going to be Galentian veterans.
Yes.
Is the thing, and like you don't want to absorb a charge with a cavalry unit.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna die.
So which
You're
one's
paying a lot of money for like an
Yeah.
outflanking unit, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know the play pattern they want with this. It's really hard to
Yeah,
tell.
I don't really know.
Yeah. And I think they want because you have your expert conquerors. And I think that's what they were afraid of is like people with expert conquerors just counting as way too much on a point and then you couldn't do anything about it.
Right, so they gave a way to get rid of that, right?
Yeah. But like do
But,
either
like-
of these belong?
I don't know.
Like man,
They made them very powerful.
I'm just having like such a war of the human soul moment here. Like I don't know.
I really don't either. Like, I don't know. Bounty Hunters feels too good.
I can't see this staying like this forever.
No, I can't either. I can see them completely nerfing it into the ground.
What would you do? Like, what could you see? I could see him making it like work on a charge.
I could see that. You could go completely into the ground with like just give it exploding 6s instead of +1 damage.
Is +1 to wound even bad? Like, I think that would be nice.
Yeah, +1, maybe +1 to hit and wound, so
Yeah,
that it's not as crazy, but still good. +1 damage it literally reads for so many units double the damage output of this unit, right?
and we were
Like, that's
saying
the
like
thing.
double anything is too much of a differential.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, even if it's not like double damage, say you're putting it on an attack that has 2 damage, like that's still like what, 50% increase?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah. Or maybe like make it like a once per game ability.
Yeah, I mean you'll still mulch things with that.
Yeah, but like you
But-
use it on the turn you need instead of just like
instead of just like, hey, look, I
trogloring their
mulched
whole
this
army
thing,
with
and then
one
I this
unit.
thing, and this thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Or another
Yeah,
thing I could see too is like bounty hunters are on, like they did the gods and monsters, or not the gods, the battle scroll update, where it's like on a minimum non-reinforced unit.
that
But
could
then what's
make
the point, I
some
guess?
difference.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I think there's some things I could just still wicked take advantage of it.
Yeah, and like I'm willing to play with this a lot before I'm just like it needs to be nerfed. My gut
Yeah,
check is that it does, but like
yeah, mine is too. Hot take here. You
yeah.
know what? I'm not scared of being wrong. I think this is gonna
And I don't think
just
we're the only ones saying
wicked
that.
define the meta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I can't imagine.
if it's not bannable, it's like meta defining.
Right.
Like the whole game's going to be based around bounty hunters now.
It feels yeah. Like I'm legitimately like I think I don't run Go Engine veterans, even though that's the whole thing for this because bounty hunters.
And like most of my armies I don't really have that choice, but like it's
Right.
my last
That's why I'm actually like
yeah,
really excited to run the pile of like battle
knights.
line chaos knights
Yeah.
because hey, they've got them out, so they can't, you know, they can't be Go Engine veterans. Great.
Yeah,
I didn't
like
want them to be. Thank you.
to attest to that too, like the one game I played with this rule set is I played Night Haunt and I switched everything out for hex raids for that exact reason.
Right.
And like they could still be bounty hunters and I got extra damage on brutes and like it made them a unit that normally can't do shit in combat made them pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Well, that's really fun and positive." But like when you put it on things that can do stuff in combat,
Yeah, like when you can put it on stuff that's already good, like
yeah.
yeah. Like dragons, for instance.
Yeah, or like thralls even, right? Double the damage, they have 3 attacks each, like that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, Blade Geist Revenants are the same boat.
Oh my god, thralls would be disgusting in that.
Yeah.
But they'll take the damage back, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. They're a bit glass cannony
Mhm.
as far as
And
that
like
goes.
I kind of think you want your cavalry to be bounty hunters
I mean, it does fit, right? Like it actually fits really
because you
well.
really want to get the charge off. They help you do that.
Yep.
And they're the ones with like 4 attacks each at least.
Right. Generally speaking.
Yeah, Blood Knights have 6, right?
Yeah, Varangard have 6.
They have more cuz the
Um,
horse too.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like this
Ridiculous. With
affects the
that
mount.
plus
Yeah.
one. I know. It's so silly. Oh my god, can you imagine my Varangard list with
Oh
them
my god. Yeah.
as this? Oh my word.
Mhm.
Like, get out of town.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll sacrifice the one drop for those to literally mulch. Just like even harder than they already do.
This is tough for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about this, but like I
We
think
might be I think we might be overreacting a little bit. Right? Like
oh, it's
I'm sure it's
entirely
not gonna be
possible.
quite as defining as we're making it out to
I think
be.
it's going to be defining. Like I think the
I
game
think you're
could be
gonna have
around
to do
this.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be like one drops are going to be like a rare pick now. Which if that
I
was the
think so.
goal, then you did it. Congratulations.
Yeah. Because bounty hunters are just like so many models in your opponent's army, like units, just take an extra damage all of a sudden. But you know what's gonna be funny is when the meta swings where everyone is like trying to avoid. Okay, so now this is like maybe happen, maybe doesn't. But like it'd be really funny if like people actually if this actually proves to be way too good, and people start taking less and less Galentian veterans because of it, and then you're like, oh, well, I found the sweet spot where I'm actually going to take the one drop again because people aren't running Galention veterans, so I don't actually need the bounty hunters.
And is the
And then
idea
they
to
get
just
the
keep like a
advantage.
constantly rotating
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny though?
meta? And like that I don't know, like you got to think about it like in this degree too cuz like I could see that like rotating thing happen.
Yeah,
But like for people to put like this much thought into like this kind of thing immediately and like go
right.
through like this whole circle because like I've been talking to like other like players and content creators about this too
Yep.
and like they're like the fact that like everybody's doing like all these mental gymnastics to like try to figure out what's going on with this like Isn't that like kind of incredible
Oh yeah,
that like they did that in the thing that like seems like overpowered and unstoppable, and then you think about it, and then there's like actually like answers that could be like meta changing, and then like because like everybody's going through like the screen thought that we went through earlier. People are going through like your meta call thought.
right.
Like
Oh yeah.
it's kind of incredible, like how like evocative these are. Like I've
Oh, they
never seen
changed every.
anything like this in a game.
Right. They made the rules powerful enough that like they really. It's not just like oh a little buff. It's like a no. We did a force multiplier rule, so
Yeah,
you guys got to really figure this out.
but like I feel like a lot of cases you just know when it's a problem. And this
Yeah.
one we're like, I think it's a problem, but I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
I really,
Well,
yeah,
well, the thing is, they made one thing really good, and you're like reading it, and you're like, "Damn, wow, these Galentian veterans are so good at this is gonna define everything." And then you're like, "Well, yes, it is gonna define everything, but just not remotely in the way that you thought."
yeah. Like this is
Right?
like in Theros Beyond Death. That if, for people who play Magic, it was like this graveyard theme set, and then they just like dumped every like so much grave hate into that set, like so much of it.
So it's like you could try to run the graveyard. I mean, I didn't play it, but it
Yeah,
sounds like it's like you could try to run the graveyard stuff, but there's so much hate. But then but then the decks that suddenly just didn't care about either would probably do well because there's so much hate and
yeah,
weird gymnastics like that, right?
yep, exactly. And it's just like, and then you get to a point like you said where like people stop like picking the grave hate because they know that like the graveyard stuff isn't played anymore because everybody picked the grave hate,
Right.
and then somebody picks it and then they win like insanely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because like no one had it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Metas are wild.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
We only spent like half an hour on that alone.
That might not even be enough time, to be honest. Like
You
that
know.
changes
I know
so
I hear
much.
you.
Yeah.
We could probably have a whole show based on that thing
Hmm.
alone.
Yeah.
Let's get some games under our belts though and come
That's what I
back.
want to do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. We got grand strategies, and these are a huge step in the right direction. I don't know if it's enough.
Okay.
So, like, my problem. Well, we'll read them first, and then I'll talk to you about what I don't like about them.
Sure.
So, first of all, no place for the weak. Complete this grand strategy if no battle line units from your opponent's starting army are on the battlefield.
Okay.
It's already
It's
kind of going.
interactive at least.
Yeah, exactly. Way better for that, right?
Yeah.
Tame the land. You complete this grand strategy if you control all objectives on the battlefield that are wholly outside your territory.
Oh, that's really hard to do.
That's really hard to do.
But interactive.
Yep. Defend what's ours. You complete this grand strategy if there are no enemy units wholly within your territory.
That's almost impossible to do if you don't go last, right?
Exactly.
Like
I don't like that one
that's
at
a
all
weird
for
one.
that
Yeah,
reason.
that's not interactive.
Yeah. Take what's theirs. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are more friendly units than enemy units wholly within your opponent's territory. Demonstration.
Uh,
Alright, go.
that's just I don't know what to think of that one.
Yeah. So, like, it encourages Alpha Strike, is how I read it.
Yeah.
Demonstration of strength. If there are 3 or more Galetian veteran units from your starting army on the battlefield. Not interactive, and way harder to get than just having one battle line.
Oh yeah, it's 3. Whoa, hold
Yep.
up. Yeah, that's really hard to get.
And then the last one, Show of Dominance. When this battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are any friendly Galatian veteran units in each quarter of the table.
That's so weird.
So, the first thought I had, and you probably did too, was so the previous one you need 3, and this one you need 4, and you need them spread out. If you have one unit in the center, it works.
It doesn't say wholly within.
It does not say wholly within, just within.
Oh my god, come on.
I mean, that makes it like
It
at
makes it
least-
interesting, I
yeah.
suppose. Yeah. But that's funny because it doesn't feel like that's what was intended.
I kind of think it was because otherwise it's a nothing. But that's like kind of on brand
Well,
for GW.
well, no, I think it does. Well, it does say Is there any? Oh, it does say friendly.
Yes.
I didn't think you said friendly.
Oh, I did say
Oh,
friendly. Yeah.
okay. Okay. In that case, then yeah, I suppose that could be correct. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just strictly worse than the other one, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I was thinking there was some kind of play, like, as weird as it would be, like some kind of play of like, oh,
Keeping
they
yours.
have Gallentian veteran units over there, so I'll get mine here and here, and we'll get it, and that would be really weird, and
Yeah.
I don't think I'd like it. But at least it would, not be strictly better than or strictly worse than the other one in that case.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they must have meant for that to be a thing.
It's weird though, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the one I'm going to be taking for the armies that I can't avoid Galatian veterans.
Right.
So
Well, the other thing is these seem worse, right? So, like, does that make the grand? Now we had to reevaluate the grand strategies from the books too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have stuff like the Skaven ones, which are like have 3 heroes alive, like cool.
It's like,
Some
oh,
armies.
well, yeah.
Remember the
I'm
thing
just
that
gonna
we
do
hated
that.
about them? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's like realize. So my problem with these overall, they all seem like extremely win more, don't they? With the exception
Yeah.
of Defend What's Ours, I think they all seem like you get them if you're winning the game, and you don't get them if you're losing the game already.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I don't know. Did my stream freeze? Oh, I think it did.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. No, there it goes. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Maybe I was literally just sitting in the same position for like a while reading that.
That's funny.
And I was just watching myself do that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. There was just no change on the screen.
Okay, good. We're good then.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like all of these are just if you're winning, you're getting them, usually. Like, I don't think these are going to end up determining a game.
Right.
Maybe they will.
Well, I guess the only time that grand strategies actually affect a game is when it's a close game, right?
Yeah.
So, like if it's a win more thing, like it doesn't really matter, right? The game's already over.
Yeah, that's fair, I
And
guess.
you're never going to care about the grand strategy anyway. So, like, I guess it's only in the really close games that these are going to matter at all. So at that point, like, you could maybe have something to do with these. You know what I mean?
I think, honestly, I think the grand strategies idea kind of spawned on, like, the idea of, like, I can win the game and also get tabled. And then they just wanted, like, a bonus for, like, if you table the enemy, get 3 more points. And like, well, that's a boring rule. Oh, we can make a fun mechanic out of this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they expanded it into this grand strategy thing. And honestly, like, that goes in hand with, like, the win more kind of thing, too. Like, if that's what they wanted this mechanic to be, it's just, like, if you're doing well in the battle game, you get it.
Yeah.
Then,
if you're doing well, then you're gonna win.
Yeah.
More likely. And like tabling your opponent and losing isn't as much of an option anymore.
Yeah, and, like, it helps you catch up if, like, you were behind on points initially, and then you just, like, slaughter their table.
Right, yeah.
You get some points for that.
Yeah.
And so, like, if that's how you want grand strategies to play, and, like, I think that's a perfectly valid thing for this game, then these are fine.
Like, yeah, and, like, they'll occasionally, like, swing a game, like, when it's super close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if, like, they don't want it to be that big of a deal on a game, which it doesn't seem like they do, I think these are perfect.
I think my problem with it is, like, it's, once again, extra mental load for, like, virtually no game.
Yeah.
Which makes them also forgettable. Like, how many times have we forgotten that? Like, the one game it actually came into play was the game we played, like, that I can remember.
And we didn't even
was the game we played.
It. Yeah.
We were like, oh, it was a tie game. And then we walked away, and, like hours later, we were like, wait, no, it wasn't, because grand strategies are a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I got tabled, and you didn't, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly that rule I was talking about.
Which is exactly, yeah, it's exactly the...
And if that's what they want it to be, then okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it does feel like it could have been, like, what you said, like, if you table your opponent, you get 3 extra points, and we could have just... And, like, that just removes the mental load, right?
Yeah.
Of, like, having to pick one. It's just like, oh yeah, here's the thing. It's like nice and easy to remember. It's like, oh, I tabled you. Okay, so I get 3 extra points. Did you score like way higher? You didn't. Okay, I win.
Yeah, but I kind of
Honestly, like you brought up that as like a metaphor for like what could be, and it's just like actually I think that would have been way better as a rule.
oh, I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
a version of these that are way better than what I said.
That's fair.
Because like what
Just not there yet.
I like about these too is like there's like a game behind them most of the time, or like you're playing in a tournament scene, and then like the meta becomes like 3 units of 5 for your battle line, right?
Yeah.
Just because like you don't want veterans or whatever insane reason that might be.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so think of that, and then like all of a sudden you're like a shoot cast army, and you're just seeing like, oh, I can kill 15 models with a 5-up save so easily. Now I have this mechanism to like punish that.
Well, I guess the problem is it's not that punishing,
Right.
right?
That's an awful lot
Which
of like brain power for 3 points.
that's exactly my point,
Yeah.
right? That's an awful lot of brain power for 3 points
Yeah.
when most games are not decided because of that. Like I feel like that's like a 1 in 20 games. That's even going to be like an option for you to try for,
Yeah.
and that's my problem, right? Not that it won't happen. Not something that could happen. Make a thing interactive occasionally, but like it just happens so rarely,
Yeah.
or that's what it appears anyway. That it's like it doesn't feel worth it. I don't know.
I'm willing to
That's my
concede
experience.
that. Um I don't think it's like these aren't quite there. And like what I said at the beginning is like I have some grievances with these.
Yeah,
But like I don't think it's worth it to like say, all right, we failed, cut the project. Like I think there's like something here that could be really good, and like it's going to be very extremely hard to find that place. And
sure.
we're at a place right now where like, yeah, it's probably just better for the game to be like if you get tabled 3 points. Or if you table three
Yeah,
point, yeah. But like there's gonna be a version of this, especially in like a narrative game, which is funny because these are match play rules.
yeah.
But like if these were like it gives you something to do when you're losing. You can at least go for that. I don't know.
Well, I guess that's your point, right?
Yeah,
Though that you started with is that they're all win more. So if you're losing, you don't have the chance
exactly.
to
That's my
try.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I feel especially with like defend what's ours is like, oh, if you go second if you go first turn 5, like you just can't get that. And it just comes down to that roll.
yeah. Or
And
it's
like
very difficult,
if there's
right?
a
Like you have to
version,
go out of your way,
yeah, exactly. I
or
just
your opponent just has to forget that's your grand strategy, which is entirely feasible.
yeah. I just think that
But
the
that's not fun.
world should be like instead of 3 points at the end, you get a point each turn for each round you complete it. Like you just have like an always on battle tactic kind of.
That'd be interesting,
It's like you get a point for each turn that an enemy's not in your territory.
right?
And like that makes it actually like you build a list to do that and it gets you 5 points and that matters.
Yeah. Once you're getting to that range, it definitely feels
That's how I would do these. I don't like them
right.
just being all or nothing. But overall, are these like twice as good, 3 times as good as the last book? I think way
Oh,
better.
they're definitely better. They're at least like they put them in like a harder difficulty, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? They really messed up though, I think. And I think we've been saying this all along, you especially,
Yeah.
that giving book specific ones means that you can't actually um, tweak these as much as you want to tweak them.
Right.
Because like you can do all you want to these, but if you just accidentally made one like that's too easy to get in a book, they'll just use that one every time.
Yeah.
And then these changes mean nothing all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then your game's not at parity anymore.
Right.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the battle tactics. I think we said a lot about these and
Yep.
okay, so there's 8 of these, which is the sweet number. These ones I like a lot actually. I think there's only one I don't like. Let's go over them.
Okay.
Gaining momentum. One enemy unit on the battlefield. Or pick one enemy unit. You complete this tactic That unit is destroyed during this turn, and you control more objectives than your opponent at the end of the turn. So it's like, I like that it's multi-tiered. It's kind of interesting that like you have to like play on multiple fronts to get this. What do you think?
I mean, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's you're only gonna pick it in like I think what their idea for this one is that like, oh, you pick a unit on an objective that's holding an objective, and then you kill it, you take the objective, now you have more, and now you're winning, something like that.
Yeah.
That feels like what they're going for, but in reality, I think you're mostly gonna pick it when you already have more objectives than your opponent, and you're just like, okay, I'll kill that little thing over there,
Yeah,
and you get it.
I think they just didn't want like conquer, or it's just like take it,
Right? Yeah.
So they're like more
They
flexible.
made something different. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Eye for an eye.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna serve I don't think it's gonna serve the purpose that they intended it to, but it's probably not too terribly hard to get most of the time.
No, I don't think it's a bad one. It's not a great one, but let's see. Eye for an eye. You complete this tactic if one or more friendly units were destroyed in the previous turn, and one or more enemy units are destroyed during this turn. So that one's kind of interesting because you have to keep track of like when you lose stuff each turn, and it's just like a counter strike.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it means you have to like kind of like consider when you're gonna. I hate mental load.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyway, sorry, that's my own bias there.
Yeah. This one's interesting to me. I kind of like it.
It's fine. It's only useful sometimes, which is interesting. Like you have to like be like, oh, which ones can I actually get this turn? A little bit. There's a little more. Like it's like, oh, do I want to go for this one because they did kill something of mine last turn, so
Yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe I want to do this one instead of like this other one I could get because I probably won't get a chance to do this one, and I could probably do that one later, and that's fun.
And then the off chance that you're just like steamrolling them, like, and you didn't lose anything.
Yeah, it's like you actually can't get this one. Yeah,
that's
which is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's got something. I don't like the added mental load, but like actually, it's kind of it adds some interesting decisions.
I don't think it's like too much.
No, it's not too bad because you can just be like, oh, did I lose that guy last turn? Oh yeah, that guy. All right.
Yeah.
And you only have to do that.
Or it's going to be like a very memorable thing that you lost, that they had to like wicked overextend to get.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like it. Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah,
desecrate their lands. Pick one terrain feature or faction terrain feature that is partially or wholly within your opponent's territory. You complete that tactic if you control that terrain feature at the end of the turn. So I really like this one because it's utilizing board control that's not objective control. And like one thing the old ones did where their conquer or monstrous takeover was it played way too into the primary objectives. Yeah. So what's the point of being secondary if they just want you to do the primary game?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one is like you have to dedicate bodies to a secondary,
like being somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an opportunity
that's
cost
a really good
here.
point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opportunity costs for these, like, I feel like that's where these should be, right?
Yeah.
It's like there should be an opportunity cost to get them, but you get the points for it, and not just like, hey, look, I'm doing the thing I was going to do anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like punish, like, yeah, that's another thing I like about Eye for an Eye is because it punishes an opponent for overextending. And that's like a cool
like you have to like think about
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that one will be like I mean the whole it's a war game, right? Like units are gonna die. So like it's probably not that much of an extra little decision to be made, but maybe like a little something sometimes.
Yeah. Alright, what's next? I think we talked about the territory one. It's good. We like it. This one's mine. So this one is you pick your general. Alright, so you pick an enemy unit, and your general has to kill it with attacks.
Okay.
So, which this one's kind of solves an interesting problem. whereas like Slay of the Warlord, where you had like your dinky guy that was like hiding out in like the back corner, and you really couldn't touch him. Like this forces your general to be in the picture.
Right, which is also an opportunity cost, right?
Yep.
Because in some ways, because it's like, oh well, I don't generally want him to be out there, but he could go get me points right now, so like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I should do that anyway.
Or how many times in like Legions of Nagash or even Soulblight, I made the general the foot vampire instead of the dragon vampire, so I could like hide him behind dudes. And like the general isn't going to be able to get this point as easily if he's just like a dinky little foot guy.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it kind of like forces the big guy on the dragon who would be in charge because he's the guy who can afford a dragon.
Right,
Yeah, I like
which
that.
seems to be the yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
However, there's going to be situations where you pick this one and you're going to have impact charges on your monster. And the thing's going to be at like 2 wounds left, and then you can't charge it because you're going to kill it with your impact hits and not kill it with an attack.
Oh, that's gonna be weird.
And you're going to scream and cry and shit your pants, and you're going to be completely entitled to. Be sad about
That
that.
would be funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But like I like this place. I like this design spot because like the opportunity cost is like exposing your general a little bit, even in like list building.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It has more of an impact, right? Like,
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah.
like that's an
And,
impact on every turn instead of just the turn that you want
yeah.
them.
And I think that's better than some of the previous ones.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. Let's see, what else do we have? Head to head. Pick one Galatian veteran unit on the battlefield. Complete this battle tactic if you destroyed it this turn by an attack made with Galatian veteran units, or an ability by a friendly Galatian veteran unit.
Oh, it's interesting that this one adds the or ability of,
Yep.
but the general one didn't.
Yeah, so that's an interesting distinction right there, for sure.
Yeah. They did say there was an FAQ coming for this, like right away. So maybe that's one of the things that'll get FAQ'd.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
don't know.
wonder. We'll take a look at that, but I think.
It's
Well,
not super relevant, I don't think, either way. But
yeah, I think it's important to have that actually be uh only attacks by the general because then like you have your foot wizard just like throw spells at a guy. Is that like at
oh,
one
that's a
wound?
good point.
So
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
they
point.
just really want you to have to expose your
Yes, yes.
like I
No,
could see
I
the
that's a good point. Yeah.
thing being like uh change your general to be melee attacks even. Not that I can
Yeah,
think of
no,
any like good shooting generals right now, but
yeah, but it could exist. Like maybe like an Alariel or something.
an Alariel maybe isn't there like a bow guy in or Stormcast?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the a Knight Judicator.
Yeah, and like you give up so much making him your general, but
Yeah,
hell, he
yeah.
makes
So you
Vigilance
probably
battle
don't.
line. So maybe there's like a list out there that does that and it's fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What was I and this one is just like, yeah, kill a unit with the unit. Yep. This is the we're
Yeah.
playing veterans. This is our veteran tax. Alright, fine.
Well, okay, so that's actually interesting though, because we were talking all about like
Not
oh, I
using
don't
them.
want to run Galentian veterans because of bounty hunters. So like, I mean, that's the only reason that this one has any kind of like extra play to it, right?
Yep.
Because if you're limiting how many you have, then
And I wonder how like the no Galatian veteran thing will work out too with the proving grounds that you can only contest with Galatian veterans.
Well, that's my point,
Yeah.
actually. Like with the with the you can only contest with them because that's like okay, so you're gonna put your Galatian veterans there, right?
Yeah.
It's like okay, my bounty hunters are gonna come mess you up then while you're there
Yeah.
because like you're either gonna have the point anyway because you have so much stuff there that I wasn't gonna take it and then it's irrelevant, or it's something that you actually wanted to take from me and I'm just gonna. It's like yeah, go ahead, overextend, please be my
Yeah.
guest. I'll send my bounty hunters right after you and just murder the shit out of you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That was my thought with the proving grounds thing.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's actually just a buff for them, but like at the same time, it could easily be a trap if you don't
If you're not
do it
careful.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a good design space.
To some extent. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have much to say about head to head. Outmuscle is pick one Galatian veteran unit that has any models contesting an objective marked as a proving ground. You complete this battle tactic if no models from that enemy unit are contesting the proving ground at the end of the turn.
Ah, I get extra points for doing it too. Yes.
Yeah,
Let's go.
this one's bad. Yeah, so
Well, okay, it's only bad in the context of bounty hunters, right? That's the only. I think otherwise this is a well designed one because it like forces you to like be a little risky of like going after something that you're probably not gonna get type of thing.
yeah.
And like it's like got a little more risk to it, but like with bounty hunters, it's just like, oh boy, yeah, let's go stomp them out. They made a mistake. Let's go punish them for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, context is everything with this one, I think. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But like let's talk
turns
about this
into
with
it.
like you did 2 1-drop armies. Alright, so how's the play pattern there
Right.
that you were thinking?
So, well, you might have to like go out of your way to like go get that. Well, maybe it's just like if you have it, the opportunity, you go for it. But if you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe it's just that.
that's all I think it is.
Yeah, but like it's. I guess if most of them are like kind of hard, like harder to get, like you got to like be really careful about like what opportunities you take.
Yeah.
So like for this one, it's like, well, I could go try for that one now because I have the opportunity to get it, and I might not later. So like, do I want to? Because like, if I take, it's like, oh, they have the second turn this time, so they pick that proving ground. It's like, oh, it's like an actual contested one. It's like, oh, maybe I have a chance for this one this turn,
Right.
and like, I don't have like a whole lot of good options for the rest of the game, so maybe I try for this one type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could be. I
Yeah.
feel like if they're all like worse or more situational, it makes things more interesting
Right.
because like you have to like really weigh your options of like just taking the easy one, but like maybe there are options for other ones that you really should go for.
Yeah, we don't want like ferocious advances at all.
Exactly.
Yep, and there's none of that, I don't think. Which
No,
is good.
no, there isn't, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think most of the battle tactics in army books are like not auto gets either.
Right.
So like it's not too bad that they did that. Although I still think it's bad, but
Yeah.
like at least they didn't make them like too easy to get.
Except for the Daughters of Kane one.
Oh, which one's that one again?
Charge with 3 units and get an extra victory point if 2 of them were witch elves or sisters of
That's
slaughter.
that's so easy to get and stupid.
And
Yeah. All
then
right.
Savage Spearhead and an extra point if they're sisters of slaughter or witch
Oh my.
elves.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, they messed up with those
Yep.
real bad, but they can fix them, and maybe they will. But
Yeah.
maybe they won't because they don't have too much of an impact on the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
This one is like the closest to an auto get, I think. It's against the odds. It's pick 1 unit from your starting army on the battlefield. You complete this battle tactic if at the end of the turn, any model from this unit are contesting an objective you control, and that objective is not being contested by enemy Galatian veteran models.
Yeah, that one's definitely probably the easiest one to get.
Yeah. And like, I hate auto get ones.
Well,
But
okay, so here's the thing about the auto get ones. Like,
you want one for turn 1, right? Do you, even?
I don't know if you necessarily need one for turn one, but like it makes it interesting. At least everyone has the auto get ones, so like it's a like, do I use the auto get one now, or do I try for the other thing because I'm gonna have a harder time getting the other ones later, and I can
Right.
still get the auto get one, right? So I think there is some play there of
Mhm.
of doing that.
I think there was like something about running your conquerors up here that you could do to like deny them from even getting this one turn 1. The enemy model are contesting an objective you control. Is that yeah? So if you have like, of course, like excluding bounty hunters, like
Wait,
if I, huh?
this one's super auto get though, right? You just pick the objective in your territory or whatever, and it's just like, oh look, you got it, yay.
Yeah.
Like, it's really that easy, right?
It feels like it, and just like don't have a Galatian veteran on there.
An enemy Galatian veteran at that.
Yeah.
It's literally just like, I control this objective, and you're not here. I did it.
Yeah.
You just pick that at the start of the turn. It's just like, look, I already control that one. I'm gonna move away from that one, and I still get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is
Oh
what I
wait,
don't
no, you
like.
have to be contesting it. Okay, you need to at least keep the unit there. But
So
like,
there's an opportunity cost. Yeah.
I mean,
Not a
like,
big one.
but that one is so minor. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not a good one. No.
I wonder if like there's a anvil enough. Like I can see a situation where there's like you put a thing in expert conquerors that like counts as like a billion now that you can move
Yep.
up there fast enough to like put something on their point in some missions that they can't get this one. I don't know if that situation exists. I don't think it does, but like it could.
Well, it doesn't even need to be an expert conquerors, right? Because because it's a Galatian veterans
Yeah,
anyway. They're already Galatian veterans, so they already have to kill them off, or else you can't because it has the no enemy Galatian veterans on there
that's a good point. Yeah.
clause already. So
So if you have one Galatian veteran on there,
yeah,
you can deny it, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. So you can, but like, I mean, it's still like you can't be everywhere.
That's a
Is
lot
the
of
thing.
ifs.
And if you are everywhere, then you're already winning, right?
Yeah.
Like
You can't be
so.
everywhere, and you can't be everywhere turn one, especially.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
this is probably the turn one that you can get. That's just like, okay, yep, look, I did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It
But if you
just
could get another one, then you can save this one for later. So like, you
and
know,
this one's actually interesting later. It's still way step above Ferocious Advance, where it's just like I get it automatically, or I have no chance to get it ever.
right.
I
Yeah.
think,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
So it's a step up. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. I think the rest of them are better.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think they did need the turn one
Sure.
so that you can
Yeah.
get something. Because then otherwise, like book ones that are super easy to get, there
Oh,
actually is
a huge
like turn one,
advantage.
there's
Yeah.
well, it's a 2 point advantage.
Yeah.
But it is something.
Yeah.
Right?
And
When
the
you're starting to
last,
get into the haves and have nots. After
correct.
you get enough of those kinds of things.
And we got the last one, which is Barge through enemy lines. You complete this battle tactic if there are two or more enemy units from your starting army wholly within your opponent's territory at the end of the turn. Two or more of those units are Galatian veterans. You score an additional 1 point. Savage Spearhead, but with veterans instead of monsters. Again, I like it because it's territory control without objective control.
Right. And there is maybe a little bit of an opportunity cost here. Like you might have to like push your guys a little out there,
Yeah, or like deploy
you
your
know?
deep strikes just to get it.
Yeah, or something like
Yeah.
that.
All
I
right.
don't know. I don't think it's the worst.
No, I like it actually.
Yeah.
Overall, like I think this is a pretty solid set of battle tactics to get.
Too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely a step in the right direction.
All right. Let's fly through some of these missions. I
Okay.
gotta pee so bad though, so let me just do that, and then we'll
Oh
talk
yeah, I
about the
forgot we had all
missions.
the missions too. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
we'll be
Yeah.
quick here. All
All
right,
right.
1 second.
Yep. Hold off the wrong paint. Hate it when this always happens to me. I'll finish a color and I'll move on to the next color and then I'll be like, oh, I missed that spot. I missed that spot. I missed that spot. Every damn time. Oh, I had the paint left on the brush. Let's go.
All right, that wasn't too long.
Mm-hmm. Nah, you're good.
All right, let's get into these. I'm just gonna paraphrase these. The text is out there all over the place. You'll get your book soon.
Yeah.
But basically, this one's called the Prize of Galette, and there's 5 objectives, one in the middle, and then like a plus sign from there. And they don't start the game activated, so they don't count for anything. And whoever goes second on each round picks one to activate.
Oh, that's interesting. So
Right?
actually, that's like not an auto get for the battle tactic then.
No, it's not.
That's
Like
interesting.
that
All right,
one's
all right.
really cool.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Um, I don't know exactly how the play pattern is going to be for that, which is one of the reasons why I find it so exciting, right?
I mean, first turn, it's clearly just you activate yours, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, oh, it's interesting though because yeah, you like really want to go second for this one, don't you?
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because like if you go second, you really get to pick. Now, how's the scoring is the same, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
control
one,
at
two
least one.
more.
Like, is this the case where like if you go second twice in a row, like you have a huge advantage?
Yes.
I think it is.
Right off the bat, that's my gut check.
That's very interesting.
I like
I
this a
kind of like
lot.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And I just think the idea of this mission is really cool in
I
general because
agree.
like this is supposed to be like the underground like winding caverns. And I can just picture this being a mine shaft and these are like lights coming up. I know that's not like match play design choices, but like that's a really cool narrative.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome.
yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah, and I think this is going to make you think of the game in a completely different sense too.
Right.
Like to the point where like if this is in your tournament pack, you might list build different.
I like this one a lot. Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah. Perfect 5 out of 7.
Yes.
Realmstone Cache. This is the one I played, by the way. And how this works is there's one objective in the middle. And on turn 2, before you determine who goes next,
Mhm.
it explodes. And based on what you roll, so if you roll a 1 or 2, it kind of blows up. One in yours, one in your opponent's. On a 5 and 6, it does. Or on a 3 and 4, one in yours and one in your opponent's, but the opposite angle. And 5 and 6 as they both explode to the side into neutral territory.
Yeah, do they shift or is it literally just the once and then you play?
It's just the once, then you play. So there's one in the middle, and then it is removed, and then you make 2 more.
Okay, in the middle one gets removed.
Yes.
It seems like unless you get 5 and 6, you're very likely to be able to hold yours, and your opponent's likely to hold theirs.
Yeah.
How did it end up playing? What'd you guys roll?
We rolled um 1 and 2.
Okay.
And what ended up happening there was his Gordrak was on my point.
Oh,
Actually, yeah, we rolled 3 and 4. No, it was 1 and 2. And
yeah.
Gordrak was not
Either
my
way, it's
point.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a huge chunk of his army like perfectly poised to take the 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had like some guys left over on his point pretty easily.
Okay.
And then I was able to night hunt like team up and actually just melt Gordrak,
Oh, nice.
which was nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, and then
What did you?
I was like, because they're like pretty close, so I was able to like just spread out and take both of them
Mm-hmm.
from there, and then I ended up like winning the game barely.
Okay, so it proved to be. It's like you just don't know where to be first turn, so you like kind of set up and then you
Yeah,
figure out what the game's going to be after that.
yeah, and I guess to like that extent is like you don't know where to be first turn. So like what we did entirely was I went first.
Mhm.
He made me go first, and then I moved a unit of hex wraiths so exactly one was in range of the objective, and then
Oh,
I
there you go.
turtled hard right behind it. And then he didn't want to like engage that because he knew I could like take advantage of him if he did it. So
Yep.
he put Gordrak just barely in range of it to steal it back,
Yep.
which is kind of funny. and then kind of spread out, being ready to try to take stuff, as an orc would do.
Yeah.
And then I took it back with my unit of 3 spirit hosts that were conquerors. And then I kind of left Kurdos Valencian in the open, hoping that the bodyguard save would protect him from Gordrak. And then I left Lady Allender open on the other side, trying to give him like a hard choice to go with
Oh,
Gordrak.
okay. Yeah.
And he ended up taking the Kurdos bait, which was probably not the call. It's hard to say in that game.
Of course.
But he took the bait and then killed him like way fast. And then I took Gordrak back. And then Lady Allender actually got a really lucky roll with her bring back models on like turn 4. And I had all of my starting hex raids back.
So I actually missed that it was on turn 3. I thought it was turn 2, so that's actually even more interesting.
It's the end of turn 2.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's probably what I
That's probably
was
what you
missing
heard.
there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's So like it made me play like a coward, and I think I'm gonna always play like a coward in that mission.
It's fair.
Yeah. And like I kinda like that.
Yeah, no, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. Maybe not, or like because I wonder if like if I was playing like Soulblight or OBR, would I just put a castle in the middle?
Yeah, and then just shifted the castle back, like just like try to hold the middle for a few turns, and then just like make sure you don't lose yours when it splits.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Or make sure you don't, or if 5 and 6 happens, make sure you don't lose one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That might be the play. So maybe it's just like a super hard fight over the center, and then you kind of retreat, and whoever won the fight in the center has an advantage, and the other person has to like come and get them.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I like the one time I did play that mission, I really liked it.
It's good.
It had all good things to say.
Nice.
All right. Battle lines drawn. I half like this one. So it's 1-2 more, and it's on table quarters instead of objectives,
Oh, this one.
which is interesting.
Yep.
You know what I'm about to say, what I don't like. And it's that
I'm actually not sure.
you can't like units cannot be removed from the battlefield with an effect that would allow them to be set up again later in the battle. So like you can't
why
teleport.
do you just nerf some armies randomly?
So I think unfortunately like the way we look at this game a lot of the times is like we play pickup games. We're not tournament players by nature.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
And I hope like I will be one day, but like I'm not right now, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we look at these missions at like a one at a time basis, and then we're like, oh, let's play this game. And you're like, oh, well, our army can't do our thing in this pickup game. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I think as far as like a TO goes, if like the meta becomes like the armies that teleport just dominate, this is a lever you
like
have to
include
put
this
it.
one?
Yes.
That's true.
So like I think in a tournament plaque it has its spot.
Yeah, because it's like if you know that's what you're going to get ahead of time, like shame on you if you like are relying on that mechanic.
Yeah.
Like you knew what was going on, so like yeah.
Yeah, like if like teleporting becomes like a huge issue in this game, this is a lever you can pick to like turn it back a little bit as a TO.
Yeah.
Or
but
like,
also
even
like
your local meta might have a problem that the whole world doesn't have.
And you know what? Like if you're like this seems like a really fun thing, but I hate that mechanic. Why are we turning that off? You just play without that rule, and everything's fine.
It's a pickup game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, as far as like a meta call, I think that's actually interesting. But in like most games that we play that are just like pickup games, like I don't think it's an interesting mechanic at all.
Right. Yeah.
And like
Agreed.
you said, just don't do it. We've done that before.
Just don't play with that rule.
Yep.
If it like disproportionately affects one person than the other, but you really like want to play this one.
Exactly.
Because it actually seems really cool otherwise.
I like
All right.
Table corners is underutilized space.
All right, so here's the question.
Yeah.
We gotta solve the debate. Can the Kraken Eater kick one of these?
The corners of the table?
Yeah.
No. It's not an objective.
No? It is though.
Does it say it's an objective?
Yeah. No, it does. It says it's an objective for all abilities.
For control the four quarters, instead of objectives, each quarter is controlled in the manner as an objective. It's controlled as an objective. It's not treated as an objective. Right?
I'm pretty. In addition, each quarter counts as an objective for the purposes of grand strategies, battle tactics, and abilities.
Oh, so you're saying rules as written, you can kick the quarter of the table?
It sure sounds like it, right? Like, can you kick the corner of the table? I don't know.
So
it's like maybe.
Yeah, so how I would interpret that is that it kicks the corner of the table, sure. You got me. But, like, the rest of the table is connected to the table. So it moves the rest of the table with it. Including all the guys on it. It just moves the whole universe.
I mean, there's a lot of caveats here. You have to, like, not actually have any terrain in that territory as well. So, like, you have to have set it up like that. And I think you have to also not have units in that territory. So, like, it's never gonna happen. And, like, it also says something about being on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So, like, if you push it, like, 6 inches over, is it still on the battlefield, or is it not, because it's, like, hanging over the battlefield now? I don't know. But you know what? It's a fun thought experiment.
Yeah, the rule is absolutely not, but it's hilarious to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, we got it. Kick the whole corner of the table away.
I just think that shit is so funny.
Oh, what if you kick it into the rest of the table instead of away?
Well, you can't because it has to be at least 3 inches away from other objectives as well. So you actually have to kick it away from the table.
Oh, but what if you like roll a 2 on that?
Well, you can't do it then, I guess.
Oh, this is so stupid. I love it.
I know. I enjoyed that conversation way too much when someone in that chat that we have just like immediately shot it down that you could do it, and I'm reading it. I'm like, actually,
yeah,
like it's closer than you might think to maybe working.
It kind of does.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was so funny.
That's
anyway,
funny. Yeah,
yeah, I love that.
This one I really like. It's Lurkers Below. So it's a 3 of them, one in the middle, one in the edge of each territory. You can't control the middle unless you control your own, and you can't control your opponents unless you control both your own and the middle. And
so it's like tug of war.
Yep.
Okay.
And let's see. And from the third battle round on, if you control all 3 of them, you get a major victory. That's the only scoring. Otherwise, there's like minor victories if you hold more points.
Oh, so it's not point based?
Nope.
Oh shit! This one was like, I was about to talk about like all these really cool things you could do, and that ruined it.
Did it?
Yeah, because like the strategy I was gonna say was like, well, you could like possibly like if someone's overextending, right? You could sneak behind them and steal their point, and then suddenly like they can't control the middle anymore because they don't control theirs.
Right.
And so you only get 1 point, but you also stop them from getting their extra point from being in the middle. And I thought that'd be really cool, but like if it's just whoever controls the most at the end of the game, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
that play's gone. Oh man, I want to rewrite that mission so bad now.
I see
be so cool.
A version of both of those being really good too. Because like the way I see this is like it reminds me of like the Knife to the Heart missions where it's just like there's only 2 objectives, and if you control both of them, you just auto win. And like that was just like such a negative experience.
Yeah.
And like this is like a very perfect middle ground to that.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
Yeah. And like I kind of like that design space.
Wheel.
But yeah, I see what you mean. Like you could just take their objective and deny them multiple objectives. Like that's kind of a cool play too.
Yeah.
But like you can still do that to make sure that they can't control the middle one. So if like the end of turn 3 you control yours and theirs, right?
But it doesn't matter that you're controlling it, right?
It kind of does.
I guess my point.
Right.
Well, I mean, it matters at the end of the game, I suppose.
Yeah.
But like, because you can do that at the end of the game,
right?
Yeah, I guess that's my point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rough one.
I don't know.
I like the mission.
It could be okay. Yeah. It still might be okay. I just think there was more potential here.
I can see that. For sure. Alright. Moving on. The Nidus Path. This one just I like this one a lot. So it's the 1-2 more, and it's like that jagged territory. And bottom left and top right connect. Top left and bottom right connect.
Oh, this
Yeah,
one.
and you can
Yeah.
yeah, if you're wholly within 6 of one of them, you can teleport to the other one as long as you're outside of 9 of enemies. Like
You
that's
know what's
just kind of
funny
cool. Yeah.
is the word nidus. In StarCraft, you have nidus networks,
Yeah.
which allow people to teleport from one spot to another. And the only difference is it's spelled Nydus. And
Okay.
I'm really curious if that's why they picked this name.
I bet it's just like some Greek like mythology
Yeah,
shit.
maybe it's just like some Greek or something that or Latin that just it has that meaning or
I'm
something.
pretty
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
it probably is.
I think it's
But
from
I
the
just found that funny.
I don't know why I just got a surge of this, but I think it's from the Odyssey. Maybe not.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah. I wonder if like the Nidus Path is or like the oh you have to go by Charybdis or the Scylla. Which one?
Oh, that very well could be. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know, but either way. I this just seems very playful. Like a pretty standard mission, but with like the teleport thing. And
Mhm.
like yeah, because if you're on the objective, you're probably not in any kind of position to deny people from using the Nidus paths because I think you're far enough away from them, right?
Probably.
Unless you're a massive horde.
But even the ability to like teleport like to the edges
Yeah.
and
You know what I can see you doing?
I don't know. I just think it's really cool because it like gives you really different thought space of like how you're moving to get objectives and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's easily like the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I didn't see this coming that I could like that you were gonna teleport to the other side to, to like try to contest this objective. I think
Yeah.
you're right though. I think it definitely matters like um how close the objective markers are to the edge. So
Yeah.
like being able to block them off and stuff. But like maybe you could do like the whole like bait them forward type of thing. And then like bait them towards the middle by like charging them or something and having them pile in that way, and then like the next turn, you appear on the other side of them and flank them
You can
or
do
something like that.
your Bray Shaman thing and make them move towards you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea too. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great idea. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
But I think what's gonna happen a lot with this mission, which I don't hate, I kinda like this, is you're gonna like park your archer retinue right on Midas Path A. Or like B, if you can like have a deep strike one with the deepkin. And then like when they're getting too close to comfort for you, you just run away.
Yeah.
I like that play pattern too. Like I
There's
really
a
like
lot of.
this.
I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of interesting things here. Yeah.
And it
Like
like
this one just seems fun.
it is just like the most boring mission in the world at its core until you like put this like teleport thing that everybody gets and that really changes the whole dynamic of Warhammer even.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like of course like it should like if it was a complicated mission and had that, like oh no, that'd be too much.
Right.
But like I
But like the core of this is like using the the Nidus paths to like figure out how to take the objectives, right?
yeah.
Which is really cool. And like in like being like, oh, like it looks like that guy's really far away, but actually he can be really close in the blink of an eye. And like, how do I manage that?
Yeah. And like it kind of yeah, and you have to like debate on how much you want to extend.
Right. Exactly.
And how far away can you be in deployment? This is actually important. Outside of 9?
I mean, that's generally the rule.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was different.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like outside of 9, like if you put up to the line, like they could just take advantage of the Nidus path immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could just be behind you all of a sudden.
So like
Yep.
decentivizes like forward deployment.
I mean, I guess you only need to put one guy back there, right? To
Yeah, some armies that's like a tenth of your army.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe against Alpha Strike lists, it's like easier to. Well, that's funny with Alpha Strike lists too, because they, all come forward and like smush you,
And then
and
you
you're just
hide.
like, actually, nah, see ya. I'm in your deployment zone now, and
Yeah.
You gonna come back and get me?
Yeah, you can only do one unit at a time. So like you can't move the whole army, but like it's still it's one unit. You can do it
It's
every
still cool
turn.
though.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. Can you use both of them once, or can you only use one once?
At the end of the movement phase, the player can pick one friendly unit wholly within 6 inches of a Nidus path.
Okay. All right. So
Yep.
just one.
Yep.
That's okay. It's still really cool. Actually, that adds an even different element to it, because then it's like,
Which
well,
one?
they're threatening multiple different things, but like which one do you actually do? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I love this mission.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might play awfully, but I love the concept.
Yeah. But like this is like that's the point of seasons is trying shit like this. And if you don't like
Right.
it, learn from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think we found like an actual like mainstay in this game now. Like I think we're going to see more stuff kind of like this.
Yeah, we might not see this one again specifically, but you
Yeah.
know, maybe they'll try different like movement tech and stuff, because this one's just so cool.
This is one I'm going to try soon, I think.
Yeah, like I would like mine. Like I'm finally gonna probably get in the game next week or maybe the week after. We'll see.
And this is the one you're
But
going to suggest.
I want to suggest this one because this one just seems cool
Yeah.
and I want to play.
I have no complaints.
Yeah,
And like maybe I will after 6 months, but we'll see.
right. You know what? That's the thing though, right? Like that's why you do seasons also, because like you have something new, you try stuff out. You know, it's exciting to start with. After a while, things get figured out. And you're like, oh, there's so many problems with all this stuff, and then they try something new, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out. It's exciting, and you know,
Honestly,
go
figuring it out is one of the more fun things. Like when a meta gets solved, that's when it starts to like be not good, right?
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When it gets stale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what do we got next? We got Won't Back Down. So this one has 8 objectives, and like people immediately complained because your scenic objectives are only 6. So oh well, but there's 8, and it's a 1/2 more. And then the special rule here is your units rally on a 5-up unless they're a veteran, and then they rally on a 4-up.
Sorry about that.
Need me to repeat?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
Oh,
fine.
I can read it.
Yeah, it's just a standard mission. There's 8 objectives.
Yeah.
And you can rally on a 5-up unless you're a veteran, then it's a 4-up.
Okay. Is there an additional point under where it says attacker territory, defender territory? Because I only see 6.
Oh, there is only 6. Okay, you're right.
Okay.
One of them has 8. I just quick looked and thought it was 8. Yeah, it's just 6.
Oh no, that's fine.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No. That's good.
I like the idea of this one, and I feel like this is like the same kind of dial with the deep strike meta. If like your shooting meta is absurd, this is how you tone that down a little bit.
Mhm.
Other than that though, like I don't know, like I feel like this one could be annoying, admittedly, just because of like how easy it is to rally. Like your whole army could rally on a 4-up allegedly.
Yeah. Well, well, the funny thing is, this is really amusing because it's called "Won't Back Down," but you actually have to back off in order to rally. So, like,
Yeah, that's true.
you're always backing down, right? In order to rally, it's the total opposite of what the name is.
Unless you're getting shot at, and then you're like, no.
Oh, that's true. All right,
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah,
Like this
but
is
no,
supposed to be the
I
dial for like if your shooting is taking over. You pull this one and put this mission there.
yeah, because it's like okay, I rally back again.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just a pretty standard mission.
I mean, this one makes the bounty hunters not as good too,
Yeah, that's true.
to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess non-Galatian veteran bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're gonna run it still. Just
Mm-hmm. It's
but
interesting
even then,
to have an anti-shooting mission where the deployment is long too.
oh, that's true.
You see what I mean?
Because it's easier to like keep guys back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like the points are kind of far back too.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, this is like super anti-shooting, isn't it?
Kind of. But then, like, if you're like that far back and then they reach you, it's gonna be harder to get to them too. Or if they're like a thing with a 30-inch range.
Well, you can keep some. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. Like, this one's interesting to me. I like this one. I think again, I think rally is just a very fun mechanic,
Mm.
and I don't think everybody agrees with me. I know there's some
Well, I
people
think
who are like models should stay
if
dead.
I mean if it actually works like you think it does, where you can rally back on your opponent's turn, then that actually changes my opinion a lot, because it always, to me, it feels like something that doesn't do a lot. But
Yeah,
like if we can make it do more, or if it's like has more of an opportunity to have an impact. Like, I hate rules that are my main gripe is rules that are there that don't do anything very often, but do occasionally,
right.
right?
That could lead
But
to
like
blowout,
have
right?
like mediocre impacts as
Like that
well.
command trait. Oh, mediocre impacts. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is like rally on a 6-up. Like, it's hard. It's hard to use because you can't be in combat, and that's when you're losing guys most likely. But also, like, 6-up is just like
Yeah.
So like anything to like it just needs more
Yeah.
in
So
order to be like
let me
worth
just
it.
read rally and see if you agree with me. You can use this
Yeah.
command ability at the start of the hero phase. The unit that receives this command must be more than 3 inches from all enemy units. Roll 1 dice for each slain model from that unit. For each 6-up, you can return 1 slain model.
I mean, it sounds right.
Yeah, the hero phase? Yeah.
Yeah, it
We must
definitely
have
sounds
missed
right.
that because, like, I didn't hear, like, anybody say, like, oh, that changed big, you know?
Yeah, we must
So,
have just missed
there's
that.
people who are going to be watching this and be like, yeah, old news guy. But,
Yeah, but that's okay.
yeah, whatever.
At
I
least they're
learned.
watching it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then they're, commenting
Yeah,
and telling us that
exactly.
we're idiots. But then we're
Yeah,
getting
great.
engagement. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Please do.
Yeah. I
If we
think.
get bigger, then please stop. But as long as we're small, like,
Yeah,
yeah, engagement.
exactly. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think this one has potential to be a lot of fun or to be like a wet noodle fight.
It could be that.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the armies too and whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I can see this being a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, the one thing we didn't talk about of the Four Corners mission is, like, it seems like if you oh wait, was that, am I thinking the wrong one?
Nidus Path?
No, I was remembering one, and I thought it was the Four Corners one, but maybe it's not.
Oh,
Where,
control the 4 corners of the battlefield.
yeah, like, is that the one where if you put a unit in the middle, each of those models can control each spot?
That's a battle tactic. Or a grand strategy. If you can put it in the middle, they control each spot. Let's see what it says here. Same manner, except models must be wholly within a quarter of the table to contest it.
Oh, they do have to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Okay, cool.
Although, well, it has some impact because, like, models in the center of the board are more easily able to shift right
Yeah.
to a different spot,
Mm-hmm.
which has an impact for sure.
Correct, yeah. Hmm.
So, but also, like, if you have something in the middle of the board that's, like, preventing you from like, if you have big terrain piece or something in the middle of the board, like, it's harder to do that. But if you have it
Right.
open, like, it's more of like a play to, like, make for the middle so that you can shift your units around to, like, get the territories you want.
Which is going to have to be a very deliberate decision that TOs make when they make their games now.
Sure. Yeah. Or maybe not a deliberate decision, and you play with what you get, and it's more, and you just have to figure it out.
Yeah, but I feel like that it's almost like two missions in one then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the point. I was
Yeah, based on what the TO or the whatever you do as the players want to do.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's interesting actually. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
How many more of these we got, by the way? Is there a full,
There's
like,
12.
there are
I
12.
wish I
Okay. Which
counted
one
how
are we
many
on?
went through. I don't know.
Okay. All
I
right.
think we're on like 8. Mighty
Okay,
and the
alright.
Cunning. This is the one I hate, and it sucks, and it's dumb. It's
Okay.
stupid.
We'll get through this one quick.
Yeah, so Proving Ground, like, you can be the Proving Ground as much as you want in this mission, instead of only once per game.
Okay.
And it's 1-2 more, and every time you kill a Galatian veteran, you get 2 points. And if you killed it with a Galatian veteran, you get 3 points.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to have Galatian veterans.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
And, like, you can,
because you
this
get
game
more
is,
if you kill them with a Galatian veteran, but like, what if I don't have anything for my opponent to kill?
this game is just list building. Do you have more Galatian veterans in your list? You probably lost.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's not terribly fun.
It's 2 points.
Yeah. Per.
Yeah. And it's not even worded like the way it used to be in like Burger, where it's like at the end of the turn, if you killed a monster this turn, get a point. No.
It's just every turn.
Every time
Every
you kill
time it
one.
happens.
Yep.
Oh man.
This is terrible. Yeah.
Bounty hunters, am I right?
Yeah, like I don't this
Unfortunately, way too right.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
No, I don't like that
have
one.
anything positive to say about this. I don't even see like how you counterplay with this. It's like, oh, you hold back guys. Like, no, they just shoot them. Right?
Well, but like if you're holding back, I don't know. It. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
No. All right, we can move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Head-on collision. So, it's kind of like Battle for the Past, but it's like a corner deployment, as you see. And the one in the middle is worth 2. Your opponent's is worth 4. You get an extra point if any of them are held with a Galatian veteran.
Any of them are held with a Galatian, like including your own.
1 victory point if you gain control of an objective this turn and they're a friendly Galatian veteran. Oh, okay. So you have to take it.
With a Galatian veteran.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Or take it
That's
and happen
something.
to have a Galatian veteran there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought this one had anti-deep strike tech, but it doesn't look like it does. Nope.
So with this one, what? Okay, so going off my strategy to start with of like running less Galatian veterans and more
Cavalry.
and just like bounty hunters, right?
Yep.
So is the play here like if you hold an objective, you put a bounty hunter unit nearby, so when they come and take it, you smash them, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, yeah, sure, you get the extra point, but then I smash you, and then I keep smashing you.
Yeah.
I think that's the play here.
I think that's the play, yeah. Like you guard it. Cover
Because it
like
makes
you
it
would
like
in chess.
way riskier proposition to like try to go get those extra points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's the play.
Yeah. I think that's the play too. And there's like kind of something interesting if like they steal it from you a turn and you have a Galatian veteran nearby, like to help take it back. It does help you catch up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, that's
the
true.
armies that typically struggle in like this kind of mission are like the slow one where like their infantry units would actually be their backbone. Like they're slow and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to elaborate a little more?
No, I got
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, like OBR like traditionally struggles with Battle for the Past because they're slow.
Right,
And
right.
like their
So,
strength
like,
is like
having the Galatian veteran to take the point back when you lose it, like gives you the extra.
yeah.
Gives you like and it like it makes it more difficult for your opponent to like gain an upper hand over you.
Correct, yeah.
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 Well, in point total, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah. I like this one enough. Like
Yeah.
it's
fine.
It's Battle for the Past, but it's like different enough where it's like interesting and I don't know how it's gonna play.
Right.
And I like that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let's see. Moving on. Silk Steel Nest. This one's cool. It's this one has 8. And it's the one where you like can burn objectives in your opponent's territory if you take them for an additional point.
Okay.
However, whenever you burn one, like these are like nests of a spider creature. And then the spider creature runs out and then you roll 2 dice for each enemy unit within 6 within 9 of them. Yeah. And if you roll above their bravery, you hit them for D3 mortal wounds.
So you hurt your opponent's units that are nearby when you
Both.
burn it?
Everybody.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just said for each enemy unit.
I might have, but I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay.
So everybody who's nearby it gets burned if you burn it. It kind of sucks that it's based on bravery and not just like a 4-up.
Yeah, I agree.
But
because that like disproportionately hurts some armies to others,
yeah,
kind of randomly.
I just
Like you'll have like a much easier time with this one than other people will
yeah, exactly. And
for the
that's
damage
not
taken. But
necessarily right, I don't think. But
it's kind of weird.
I like the idea of this.
But I like the concept.
Yeah.
Like if you go in there and like try to do it, you might like get burned doing it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I could see a situation where you're an expert conqueror and you just like nudge in there that they left it like a little too unprotected. But
Right.
they have like a lot of stuff nearby and then you just burn it and you try to like get some damage off on them.
That would be funny.
And I like that there's like play with the objectives that's not necessarily objective oriented.
Right.
There's
yeah.
a little bit of math here involved that's not just how do I get the most points out of this. And maybe that won't matter.
It's like a little bit of damage or whatever too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like at least a little bit extra than just like, oh look, I burnt your point. And actually, for this one, I kind of like that it's there's 8 for the burning one because like 4 points is hard to it's hard to keep all 4 points in your territory, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not just like an easy thing. Like, oh yeah, of course I'm just gonna hold mine, and like first one to burn one wins. It's like no, actually, it's hard to hold that many.
Yeah, exactly. Whew. I'm gonna probably play this one earlier on because there's just something so like oozing with flavor about it being like a creature that runs out because you're burning its nest.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
The other thing that's interesting about this is like you burn one, and get the point for it, but that actually only loses your opponent like 1 point per turn to start with.
Yeah.
And like it's easier to equalize, I think, and because it's not just like I don't know. I think this one's actually got some interesting play to it, which I kind of like.
Actually, being 8 for this one as opposed to 6, yeah, because you can get the 1-2 more easier, even if some are burned.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't like totally cripple you.
It pinches the score in a little bit. Like actually, and that's historically a problem with those kind of missions. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it really spreads you out being 8. So like I think this one definitely has more play than historically these kinds of missions have had, which is cool. Like because
awesome.
I've liked this concept.
It's a fun idea for sure.
But it's just I don't think it's been implemented well in the past. But I think this one's better. This one feels better.
This one feels better immediately to me too.
Yeah.
And like honestly, like my only complaint is like it's bravery based instead of just like a dice. But
right, yeah. But I mean, like, hey, if you want to change that, just make it a 4-up, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or a 5-up, or whatever you want to do. It's easy enough to like quickly modify the mission a little bit if like it's too disproportionate.
And it feels like
for the armies that are being played.
They're just desperately trying to make bravery matter more.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine except for like the balance has never been there for bravery, I guess, really.
Yeah.
Because it's mattered so little, like those stats are like could just be wildly disproportionate, but no one ever really cares.
You could argue that at the beginning
in tournament results.
Yeah, you could argue that in 3rd edition that they started with like making bravery matter for these kind of things in their design notes. So by the time every book comes out, that's not the case anymore, but currently it is.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's only D3 damage, like it's not actually that much.
No.
But like it's a little extra flavor thing.
It might kill a unit.
Like
or a model, rather.
And like honestly, I'd probably just make it like I'd probably just do what I said initially and just like you could just tweak it just a little bit to make it more fun.
Yeah. Whatever you need to do.
I think they're thinking like honestly, they're thinking like along the lines of like oh, troops are gonna be more likely to take damage from this, but the heroes are gonna take less damage, and
Yeah.
not thinking that like some armies are wildly different in their bravery,
Or maybe they're just
and more
like,
thinking
yeah,
like
like
your average
undead
case.
wouldn't care about spider bites.
I
Or like
suppose.
goblins would be
Well, I mean,
horrified. Yeah.
that's thinking from a fluff perspective. I think they were just thinking like which units are gonna be more likely to take the damage,
Yeah.
and which I think is fine. Like heroes are less likely, but as
Mhm.
long as it's like even for everybody or like roughly even, I think death is like just and because you play almost exclusively death, like that's like the one outlier that like maybe other people wouldn't think about this as much because it's like oh the braveries are roughly equal on
Right.
average,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, and like that's a way to do it without being like roll a dice and subtract one from that roll if it's on a hero or, you know.
Yeah. Although honestly, I'd almost prefer that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, just like 4 up for units, 5 up for heroes. Bam, done.
Mhm.
Easy.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway,
Yeah. Let's see. Close to the chest. Basically, each turn you pick one of them to be an alpha objective, and your opponent gets an extra point if they take that one. This one's like forcing the hand from older books, if you remember. Um, yeah, so at the
not
beginning of
really.
your
Hang on.
turn, the opposing player picks one of their objectives to be the alpha one, and you get a point if you take it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I do remember this one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. When we were playing War Coda that little bit ago, that's the mission that you and Trevor played.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the one where it didn't matter which one I picked for him because he could always take it because I was losing so hard, and the same didn't matter the other way because he could always
Yeah.
keep it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, from like War Coda, what we noticed too is that we think this mission's better when you pick it at the beginning of the game, because if you could pick it during the turn, you just have too much agency to protect it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they didn't learn that lesson, but the thing that's interesting is like it's the two L shaped instead of like the two lines. And I have no idea how that affects the mission whatsoever, or if it does even.
I mean, they were just like, let's do a weird deployment zone for this one. Okay, great.
That's what it
Did
feels
it?
like, but maybe there
Yeah.
was other reason to it. I don't know.
I think you put something like this together and you play test it and it's like, oh, that was fun. It's like, okay, this is a little different. I don't know if like a whole lot of thought goes into like
Each one of these.
yeah, the deployment zone specifically. Because I feel like that like thinking like you might think through it a little bit, right? But
Yeah.
like I think a lot of it's just like let's make something different for this one because we don't want to just have all the same deployment zones and like I don't know. I think you just throw something out there, and it's like, okay, that works fine.
I think
There's
that's
nothing
true
like horrible
sometimes.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the Nidus Path one, like, really thought about the deployment zone.
yeah, right. Yeah, no, some definitely lend themselves more, and others are just like, well, this could be anything, so let's do something weird with this one.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I just didn't. Yeah, I just wonder if that actually will have an impact upon the game.
it might.
Yeah, it might. Let's see. Turf War. This one got cut off a little bit, but no reserves. So, this unit is set up to reserve. All the models in that unit are slain, and the unit is destroyed.
No, another one of these.
But
All
yeah,
right.
summon units cannot shoot or charge in a turn in which they were added to your army. Okay.
Okay. This one sucks.
Yep, and then it's two objectives, 1, 2, or more.
Oh, this one wicked sucks.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Like you randomly gimp some armies of the thing that they do,
Yep.
and then you also make it like just two objectives to fight over in like the most boring mission imaginable.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, all right. I mean, okay. To be fair, boring missions aren't bad because it's like less of a thing to think about when a game that requires a lot of thought already. So like, I don't super hate that
And
boring
actually,
missions, but like
yeah,
just coupled with a bad ability, I don't like.
one of the biggest complaints about this General's Handbook is that the missions are too off the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I like,
Interesting.
but like I see it. Like
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
this is just supposed to be like the de facto season, like there should be some boring ones, but like they realize that and then they attach the boring one to the rule that's just a hate piece.
It's just awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. They didn't give just like a nice generic one.
Yeah,
By the looks of it.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a valid complaint, I think. I think the
Sure.
closest
Yeah.
one to the nice generic one is for the head on, like the battle for the past one that we were talking about, right?
Right. Yep.
And like I'm sure that one will be played a lot and it'll be fun, but yeah, like these hate ones. Like I get the point of one of them, but imagine being in a tournament with like both of these.
Yeah. Right.
Like that would fucking
Like
suck.
why?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like some armies are designed around this, and you design other armies like with their own things. Like you don't need to like randomly gimp things.
Yeah.
Like I hate the random gimping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is and like this one doesn't even really have the argument for the other one for like the other ones where it's like, oh, you just don't run with that rule and it's a fine mission. This one's just like,
Not a
okay,
good mission.
fight over those two things, go. Like it becomes nothing.
Yeah. This one or the Mighty and the Cunning, which is like the Galatian veteran ones, are like definitely the worst ones in the book.
Yeah,
And I think that one is worse because like that one's just list building and nothing else.
right.
But like this one's not like good either. But
No,
you know
I
what?
don't. I don't like this one.
The last book we had like 5 good missions and that was it.
Yeah, it seems like we have a lot of cool missions in
Yeah,
this
this
one.
is a huge step up overall.
Right.
But like this one fucking it blows.
This one sucks.
All right, that was the last one actually. So we saved the worst
Oh,
for
okay.
last.
All right. All right.
Let's rifle through some of the changes in the spells real quick. Chronomancer's
Okay.
cogs, actually, wildly different. It's a 12-inch bubble if you speed up time of re-rolling charges instead of +1.
Oh, okay.
Obviously huge for Night Haunt, but I think that's a stronger buff in general.
Sure.
And the other one is if you speed or slow down time, all wizards within 12 inches re-roll casts.
What did it used to be?
One
+1?
wizard got an additional cast.
Oh, yeah, that's actually way better, right?
I think so. I just have so many
Well,
armies that are
it's
like
different, I guess.
6 casts or like I feel like I have to bring this in Night Haunt every time at the very least.
Mhm.
Because I was always bringing Master of Magic as my command trait because I really needed that spell to get off to
Sure.
return models. And now like
Yep.
I can do that with like the 7-up cast to like make them fight last. Or like Lady Allender has like a 7 value spell and no bonuses, but like this is equivalent of +2. And, like
Yeah.
Skaven is full of like 2 cast wizards, so I get to 7 cast, re-roll them all.
Right.
And like I would have taken Master of Magic every time there too.
So there you go. Now you got a different option.
I'm basically spending 40 points for a command trait.
Oh, it's 40 points.
Yes, it's 40 points now.
Oh, that's not even bad.
No, like this is gonna see a lot of play. Like
I think
I'm
so.
sure of it.
Yeah.
Emerald Life Swarm got worse. Didn't change in points, but it no longer heals models when it's deployed. Fine.
Oh, was it too good?
Well, it used to when you cast it and landed it, it healed, and then you moved it and it healed again.
Oh, I see.
And now it just heals only when it moves.
Sure. Did it change in points, you say?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Prismatic Palisade. This one I don't think changed in points, but its units within 6 cannot make shooting attacks. Period. Add 3 inches to
Yeah.
the range of this ability at the start of each battle round after the turn it was summoned.
This one is weird.
Yeah.
This one's really weird because it's like no longer a wall.
No, right?
It's like a thing I want to like throw into your deployment zone and say, here, sucks to suck.
Yeah, it's not like a protective wall. It's not like units
No.
can't be shot at.
It's an aggressive wall.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
just put it in their face, yeah.
they made this so weird, but okay. I don't hate it.
I think it's 40, I don't remember. I have the points at the end. Because all the
Weird.
points changed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might see a lot of play or nothing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I I'm of two minds of the Purple Sun, to be honest.
Okay.
So it's 70 points now, and what it does, it's a aura of -1 to save within 12 inches. In addition, roll a dice for each unit within 3 inches of this endless spell. After the spell has been moved, on a 1, one model from that unit is slain. Heroes are units,
Oh my goodness.
right?
It just kills stuff on a 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's lists that are
Oh.
like, imagine if like you did this against Flesh Eater Courts, and you like put it in the middle of the 2 zombie dragons.
You just randomly killed one.
Yeah, and like it's not even that bad of a chance, right?
1 and 6. Like that'll happen in a game.
And if 2 of them are in range after the move, it's 2 and 6.
Hmm.
Right?
No, it's not 2 and 6. Not quite.
Not quite, but
Not really. Yeah, but the general idea is there. Is you're getting more and more likely
yeah.
to get this.
I think the -1 save part of it is like such a good design, like such an
Yeah.
important piece for this world. And then I just think the other half of it is going to ruin games,
From this unit is slain. Yeah, I agree with you.
right?
I totally agree with you. Yeah.
And like this thing was like all it had to say was -1 save, and people would be like, "This is awesome," because I'm bringing it in a lot of places now because of that.
How many points did you say it was again?
70.
70?
Yeah. But like the Cavalist Death Riders I was talking about, like now you're bounty hunter with additional damage and additional rent.
Right.
That seems like it has a place in the meta. And then it's just tied to this rule that can just ruin games.
Just ruin games, yeah.
Yeah.
Super ruin games.
So again, like I'm frankly of two minds of this.
Yeah. Cause like it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna 70 points is a lot.
Yeah. 70 points is a lot. But I like it. I like the -1 save part of it a lot. It's
Each other unit within 3 inches of this endless spell after it is moved.
I don't know. I'm gonna try it.
No.
And if it makes this bad game, I'll stop.
But like you can just move that right up to like a ball of like a tower of units and just be like, I'm probably just gonna murder
Some of these.
Well, okay. Alright, so here's the thing, right? Like
3 inches is not
it's only
that
gonna
big.
feel really bad if it hits like a monster or like a hero, right?
Like if
So-
it hits like a great unclean one, for example.
Oh yeah, it's just that feels so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But like if it hits, like just like a whatever guy, like who cares?
I think this could be
barely
FAQ
has
to
an
be.
effect.
Yeah, if it has 10 or less wounds, it's slain.
Yeah, or do like the D6 damage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh man, this one's tough for me to endorse.
It's very swing. It could be very swingy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just has the potential to just ruin a perfectly good game.
Yeah, right.
Is all I have. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah.
And if it was like a thing that you're like, oh, I just want the Wombo thing that can do that for fun, then like you could play it. But the problem is, I think this actually has a valuable piece in the meta, but that's -1 save bubble too.
Right.
So it's gonna ruin the game.
It's not like just that. It's actually gonna ruin games because it's gonna be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people who don't want that thing in their game.
Right. Yeah, because normally those kind of abilities are like overpointed, and so it's like shitty, but like occasionally goes off. And
if you want that kind of thing, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe is 70 points too much for that ability?
I don't know if 70 points is too much for a bubble of rent.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Like I think that's right on the nose. All right. Quicksilver swords. They like went half in price, so they're like 60 instead of 120, and it's on a 5-up instead of a 1, or instead of a 6-up.
So they like quadrupled the effectiveness of it.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
And at the end of the
Well, it
day,
needed it.
yeah, I don't think it's enough to really do too much.
Yeah. You quadrupled the effectiveness. Congratulations. It still does nothing.
You could triple the effectiveness. It like finishes off something maybe.
Yeah, that's funny.
Ravenak's Gnashing Maws is actually pretty big. So it's 3. It moves 3d6 like before, but the first time you move it, it's you reroll the dice, and then you pick one model that this thing passed over, and you roll a dice equal to It's the move roll. So if you rolled like a 14, you roll 14 dice. Each 2-up is a mortal wound.
Wow.
If the roll of the endless spell's move was greater than that unit's move characteristic, that unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the difference. So,
Wait, hang on. That
So,
was two different things.
it's
On a 2-up, if the...
yes. So,
Oh, it's that... Oh, I was thinking we were rolling... Wait.
so I roll.
That has
Let's say I
big
roll
one,
3d6. I roll 13. I move over your thing, and if your thing has a movement characteristic of 13, on a 2-up I roll damage equal to the dice difference.
Okay, but or the difference in the dice roll and their move characteristic.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just making sure. At first, I thought we were rolling number of dice equal to the move characteristic and doing damage and doing a mortal wound
In
on a 2-up.
hindsight,
I'm
I
like,
think I said
oh wow.
that, but I didn't mean that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I thought you had to
No, all
roll
good.
that, and then if it was above. So like you had to be above the move characteristic, and then you roll the dice, and then it's the difference.
Right.
But no, it's just on a 2-up if it's the difference.
Okay.
That could be insane, or it could do absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
There's so many armies that are like 14 lol, you know?
Yeah, but there's normally at least a few slow units in it that you could absolutely fucking wombo.
Yeah. I think it's like
Right?
60 points.
Like, I might try it.
Yeah. It's way better than it was.
Yeah, it's way better than just like do D3 damage.
This is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, at least it has something going on. Like, it could do a lot of damage, and
Yeah, I could see it, is what I mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Shards of Valagar, the only difference here is that it if you hit an enemy with it, it can't teleport.
Oh, okay.
Which that's interesting.
Sure. Were these ever good, like, even playable before?
Some people
They
use
moved
Shards
so
of Valagar
fucking-
because it
How did
had.
they?
Yeah. It was like a niche. All these were niche things, but
Right.
I think it's still going to be the people who liked it before are going to like it way more. That's really
Yeah,
it.
because it's... Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then Lock on the Soul Seeker changed a little bit where you get to move the wizard after it moves with the Soul Seeker. Or normally you didn't before.
Oh, you get to move after...
Yeah, moving
Okay.
on the boat, yeah. Maybe. To see something. I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of these, I feel like, take that, like, special situation of, like, oh, this unit does something cool, and therefore, you know, like, in combination with this, you know, you do something, and then it becomes super overpowered because of that.
Yeah.
But, like, if like, all the conditions don't exist, you're like, this is garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really hard to judge.
It's hard to gauge, like, how many armies want their heroes to be hypermobile that don't have the tools to make them hypermobile?
Yeah.
I think that niche is very narrow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, Sylvaneth could, like, want to move their stuff around, but they have, like, army teleport rules.
Right. So it's like you don't want to spend the extra points on this, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So Soul Scream Bridge went up 10 points, but the range went from 18 to 24.
I like that change, because those
Yeah.
models are big.
Mm-hmm. Like, that was your whole complaint about it when it was brand new. You're like, 12? That's it?
It's like, what? I can barely fit those things within that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So,
definitely my problem with it. So
and-
way better.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to see playing the armies that want it, and the extra range is nice.
Yeah.
And that's it for what changed.
All right.
Some points changed, like Suffocating went down, Soulshare Shackles went down, Bridge went up, Valagar went down to 50. It used to be 70. Gnashing Maws is 60. Oh, by the way, this is from Facehammer. They did this math here, so thanks for that.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Pendulum went down. Cogs went down. Geminids went down 40 points to 40.
Oh wow.
So they might be interesting now.
I don't remember what they do now.
They
if I'm
shut
being
off
honest.
command ability. If you hit somebody on a 2-up, it's a mortal wound, and then they can't issue commands
Oh, okay.
that turn. Yeah. Or they
I
can't
like the
receive.
original one
Yeah.
better when they were super busted
Oh,
and
yeah.
broken.
They were hilarious.
They were way too good.
Yeah. Quicksilver
Anyway.
Swords is down to 60. Yeah, so.
And does the same thing
Yep.
better.
Exactly.
That's great. That's so funny.
So some of these might see play. I don't think that much. It's not going to be like spells are flinging everywhere now, but...
Yeah, but at least maybe, like, they'll be used.
I think people are excited about Gnashing Jaws, and I think people are going to try that a lot.
I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I think...
I might even run that, like... That might be, like, the first thing I might try that in my next game.
You
just
should.
Because,
I would
like,
love to hear
I
how it
wanna.
goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bridge is going to be played in the same exact list that did it before. I think people are going to try Geminids, and I think I'm going to play Cogs most of the time.
Nice.
And I might play Purple Sun a lot of the time, too.
Yeah, Purple Sun is going to be interesting. Let me know how that goes, and, like, if you have any, like, super bad experiences.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that next time I play Death.
Yeah.
I just don't see my 40... Like, I have so many lists that are just, like, 50 points. And it's like, do I want the Triumph, or do I want to reroll all of my casts or charges, whichever is better for me in the moment?
Right?
Like,
yeah, no joke.
I think I take that in most of my lists. I can just go through and plop that in without taking anything out.
Right.
And, like, rerolling casts is so huge. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Whew, that went really late.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten yet. I gotta...
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, buddy. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to raid from, I was gonna see if there's anybody to raid, but, I don't know how to do it from, OBS.
I think you... I don't know. Do you do it from Twitch? I think you do it from Twitch interface. I'll be honest, I've never done it, so I have no idea.
Like, I should research that a little more. Because I think Halo's live, so... You know what?
I think you go to their... Maybe you...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, we've raided someone before. How'd you do it before?
Yeah, I did it with, like, our dashboard is open on, like, the website.
I think that's just the way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. I think you're right. Stream manager. Raid channel. Yeah, Hey Wo's live. Let's go there.
All right.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody for
later.
joining. Yeah, Bill, go have dinner.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Cool.
Right, bye.
See ya.